Good morning. Good morning, Lashes. See you there. Riff MK. Good morning, Marlon Newbie. Good to see y'all. I am tired today, but not it's not impossible, but I am a bit tired. I slept, but I think it rained last night, so we have had that peaceful lethargic feeling. And just make sure everything is on my phone good. I think my internet's a bit slow today. I'm seeing a lagging nose in the background, so give me a second just to make sure. But good morning, everybody. I see you guys were there, but maybe you guys stepped away for a moment. But I am here. Let me see. I think other people are going on Saturday morning now. Find it funny. You pick a time that nobody's taking, all of a sudden everyone will take the time. Okay, so it shows me live. Let me see. Oh, good morning, Nikki. I see you there. Oh, good morning. Okay, this chat's way behind. Maybe I'm not even in the chat. That's part of the problem. I'm in the wrong screen. Okay, good morning, Soup Like Me. Good to see you, Nikki, Tammy, Triple Threat. Good to see you all. I don't have much to talk about today per se, like pre-planned, but just chitter chatter. It rained yesterday. Didn't rain a lot. Then last night I think it rained again because it's very wet this morning. So I'm glad because I had to go water and I don't have to water. Hey, good morning, Bougie. So thank God for the rain. I heard some growling again last night. So I think there's a skunk coming around because they're the ones that dig holes in your lawn. And there's nothing I can really do about it unless I make more fencing and electrical stuff. But you know how that goes. So give me a minute to get warmed up. I'm just so lazy. I have a bowl of fruit, so I'm going to be eating my, let me see it. Yeah, my bowl of strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. Trying to get healthy. I will drop the link shortly and open the panel so we can have a conversation about this stuff. But I eat off camera. Not very polite. But how's everybody doing this morning? First of all, so good morning, Carpet. Oh, Nightbot, delete your message, Carbon. I think there's too many emojis. Sorry, but I see you here. Good morning. I think there was too many emojis. Good morning. 1 second. Yeah. Sorry, just talking to somebody here. So how's everyone doing today? Oh yeah, I see you, Carp. I think you had you had 4 emojis. Nightbot has 3. I don't know how to change that. So for those who don't know, I have Nightbot set up. If you type #urban, it will drop your link. And then it's going to be dropping my social medias. It'll be dropping my buy me a coffee and reminders throughout the chat. So for those of you who are moderators, you don't have to type as much. People can drop their own links. Everything is open. There's no subscriber mode. I haven't had any issues with trolls, so it's open. But if there's any kind of thing come over here, then I'm gonna have to change it. I just drank a strawberry blueberry still. Oh, that's what. Yeah, I saw the smoothie. Yeah, I was gonna make a smoothie, but then I saw the time. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm gonna be late, and I don't like to be late. Then I came and saw people were in the chat. I'm like, oh Lord, I don't wanna. You don't like that. It's not very polite. So, um, I have my water with I don't think you guys know this. I think it's an English and a British and a Jamaican thing. Ribena. It's a black currant syrup, and I don't know. I don't know if Americans have that. I think you guys just use Kool-Aid or stuff like that. But this is more. It's different. Okay, sorry guys. I'm looking down on my phone at the chat. So, yeah. Oh, she said I eat a donut today. It balances. You think like me, Nikki. You use the calories where you want them. Today I will have a bit of junk, but that brings me to a topic I do want to talk about. You'll see me scratching a lot. I have mosquito bites. I've been eating a lot of junk food. And sorry, my internet is lagging. I can see it lagging even to myself. So I don't know what's going on, guys. But As long as you can see me and hear me, that's good. Um, I had guests in the July and August, and a lot of junk food that was in my home. I ended up nibbling on it, and my skin is very itchy, and I have eczema outbreaks, and just no, I'm not dirty. No, I'm not. It's just it's the skin is inflamed. And I started a watermelon juicing this week, and I can feel the difference already. I'm feeling that detoxing, so I will be. This is why when you eat clean, you have to just stay on the clean diet. You can't. I eat cookies and stuff once in a while, but not to the degree that I was eating. I'm talking. I was there was wrappers everywhere in my bedroom. There's wrappers of chip that just it was overboard because once you get back into that addictive eating cycle, you're in all the way in. So my skin, I'm having patches on my elbow. I'm having patches on my hand of eczema. Like it's all over. So my scalp is inflamed. Like it's really bad. So you'll see me, going forward having a juice or something a little more detoxing, lemon water, just stuff like that. It's bad. It doesn't take long for it to, yeah, and not even just junk food. Um, that's probably a bit of an exaggeration. Like, yeah, I had junk food, but it's just the processed food. So even I don't drink cow's milk, but cow's milk was in my home. I had a sip here and there, yogurt because I had it for the guests. The dairy, the cheese. I love cheese, but I wasn't eating it as much. I had grilled cheese about 4 times this week before did the watermelon. Um, I'm talking about. I think MSG bothers me. I can't prove it, but MSG, the preservatives, the just the I even had a couple of frozen. Like it's just Anyways, I'm in complete control of what I put into my mouth, and even though I'm busy, I need to have a contingency plan, not just preparedness, a contingency plan for your everyday life, so that you're not picking up foolishness and eating it, or you're not going to the drive-through and just picking up. I'm notorious for chicken nuggets. I will drive through and have chicken, and it's like I'm sure I can pick something else. Even when I bought a salad, I don't know if it bothers you all, but some people in restaurants don't wash their lettuce, don't wash their stuff, and you're eating this stuff. It may be good morning, Salon Diva. It may be healthy, but it irritates my skin. I'm gonna drop the link because I'm gonna keep chattering. Me, I'll chat. You know, chat till I can't chat no more. Let me drop the link. Um, Paste because I don't have a set topic. Today's just a chit chat. Talk about the garden. Just talk about just stuff. Because you can learn from just people just talking and just what's going on. But I need to be more balanced. And because I haven't been balanced with my food, it has affected my mood, my energy, my irritability. Like, yeah, I see myself reverting to some old ways of just, very impatient, very, um, and I don't like it. And I'm thinking, okay, is it me? It's me, but is it because there's too much toxins in my body? I can't speak for you, speak for me, in my body, and it's making me just. Good morning, Erica, my fly family. It's just making it's not. I can't explain it. It just my frequency, my clarity of mind is off, and the food that I'm eating is just it's making me literally not want to spend time with myself, and I can't run from myself. So how does that make sense? If that makes sense, you guys know what I mean. You're sleeping and you're not sleeping deep. You're yeah, the milk. And you can, for me, I don't know about you all, I can tell like when my inner elbow, I know you guys can see it, starts to get itchy and get discolored and get something's wrong. There's certain parts of your body that just don't. When it gets flaky, for women between your cleavage, if you get a rash, like your body's telling you, girl, something's not right. So, um, yeah. So I need to. For me, I don't have a deep freezer. Some people might say, "How you got to have a deep freezer?" I just never bought one for this house. I didn't feel like I needed one because it's just always packed with stuff, and I don't want to just buy stuff. But I do want to prepare my juices in bulk. so that I have like carrot juice, my watermelon juice. I like to have green juice, even just ginger shots. Have them ready so that when I get busy, I'm just watching Nightbot. Sorry, this is like it just doing its thing. I love it. I can just go in the freezer and take some out. And that was my problem. I didn't have anything pre-prepared, and I didn't have time to prepare it because other people were pulling me left and right, and that also caused my garden to suffer. My garden suffered. I dropped the link, guys, if you want to come up. I think Lashes, are you there? I don't know, or anybody can come up. My garden suffered, and it just, the time in the garden gives me that peace, and I didn't have that time. And I'm just sitting down thinking for the last week, and I just have to have basically defined time, and nobody on the earth can interfere with that time because it affects me in the long term. I'm not happy. I'm not at peace. I'm not cordial. I'm just, I'm not even on the road. You're driving. You're just the road rage. That whole thing that you used to do is coming right back. The food was one part, but my time in the garden and just it became a chore because I'm running around trying to get stuff done. Yeah, and when you're not in balance, and sometimes you can justify it in terms of, okay, I'm just busy for this 2 weeks and then I'm going to get back in balance. But for me, it's been about almost 2 months. And when I went to get back in balance, I had to open up, as you guys know, my home again. So, oh, sorry, 3 emojis or less, guys. I don't know, somebody got timed out again. I'm not watching. Let me look while I'm talking. So, I'm just talking about balance, guys. You need to. We all know this. I'm not saying we're all grown. I think everybody on my channel is grown, so we're not children. But I need to find solutions and stop talking about certain things. I'm looking for a deep freezer so that I can make my juices in bulk. Spend a Saturday morning, make a whole bunch, you freeze them. And if I have time to make fresh, I make the fresh. But if I have to go to my reserve, I'll just pop in the freezer, take one out the night before, and have my juice. Right now, last night I bought 2 watermelons on sale, and I'm going to be juicing them today. And my family wants some as well. So, um, and that's also part of the problem. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, when you're the person in the family that does certain things and they rely on you, and if you don't do it, it doesn't get done. It, you can't even get a day off. Like if somebody else would do the juice or make the smoothies, there's nobody there. If I don't do it, it's not done. So yeah, don't drink the milk. I'm just reading the chat on my phone, guys. If I'm not giving you eye contact, that's why. But just, I think, and most of us here today are women, and I think this is what it's been on my mind without really having a title for it. Like, how do we as women, we do a lot. Like, we run a tight ship. You have your house organized, you have your life organized, you got your kids' life. I don't have kids. Organized and schedules and routines, your food schedule. You have your fridge organized, old food out first, new food in. Okay, what, like, it's constantly something, planning something organized. Good morning, Shar. Oh, Costco. Okay, I'll check out Costco. And then the thing I'm finding for me that's making it very difficult for prepping and life. And those of you who are single understand it. Being a single woman, and you have friends, you have friends, kids who are male that can help lift and move stuff. But really and truly, like, a lot of the brunt of the physical labor is on you. My sister got rid of a dryer yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And the guys wouldn't remove the old one. It wasn't part of the package. Do you know? So hey, D Macro. Okay, thanks, D Macro. And you can drop your link, D Macro. Just type in hashtag urban to drop your link. She does photography. That's my sister there. So she does her little thing, and Instagram. Um, how do you supposed to do as a woman to go and take a dryer or washing machine to the curb, and it's in the basement? Like, we're in Canada, we have a basement. You gotta, like, I don't understand how they have these services and that aren't helping you. So the guy, for a tip, put it on the front veranda, so at least it's on ground level. I wanted the drum for a raised bed for my garden. I could not get the front of the machine off to get the drum out. Hey, Kenyatta's Journey and Salon. Okay, if I missed somebody, I apologize. So I couldn't get the drum out. I'm like, got so irritated. I just put it back together, put the screws back on, and left it there. And some scrap metal guy took it. because the city's not going to pick it up. Like just these little things. It's just, I find it just, it just gets me anxious. It gets me anxiety. How am I going to get this built? How am I going to get that built? How am I going to get, like, it's becoming a bit much, and I have to just kind of calm myself down. I'm sure some of you feel the same way. Like, what do you guys think? Do you find it, those of you who are single, just it's difficult to get physical things done? I have to get a roof fixed on the shed. I don't know how to do a roof, but I'm gonna have to go on YouTube University and figure it out, because I'm asking people, no one's available. They got their own projects to do. I'm in Toronto. You know, winter's coming in like a couple of months, like snow. So I can't be doing those projects in the cold. And anyone who's worked in the wintertime, you know it's cold. Your hands get cold. So these are things that have to get done by like Canadian Thanksgiving, which is October. I don't know like where to start, where to like, I'm just getting anxious, and it's coming across in everything that I'm doing. I need to get some concrete work done. The guy is just, you know, going around in circles. And I asked for a quote. He gave me a quote. I get the quote. The quote's just one big blob of a number, almost $20,000 for all the stuff that I want done in the house, the bathrooms, the tile work. And if I tell you, you're here with me in person, the man's here and his worker, and I'm going through like a list of things I want that done, that done, that done, that done. And I made it clear I want a detailed quote. He gives me a blanket number. What does that include? Like, do I have to always be arguing and aggressive when I'm dealing with these tradespeople as a woman because like you don't respect what I asked you? How can I determine what things I can eliminate if you haven't given me a detailed quote? I don't want every screw and every nut and every bolt, but I want tiling for this square area, tiling for the bathroom. It's just, I'm like, so then I asked him, he's a good worker. He does excellent work. Can I get a detailed quote? My issue is I need to know what the quote includes, because this is how arguments start and animosity between a customer and a tradesperson, because he already started the work. They already demolished the stuff, and now they're working, and you think that this is included and that's included, and now it's not. And then now you don't have a bathroom because they've already demolished it. I'm not going down that road. You know, I have enough sense to know you have all that ironed out before they start the work. Now he's busy. Now he's here. Now he's there. You know, I don't know. It's just, I'm feeling a bit irritated this week, and it's just everything is irritating me. Good morning, Gina. So I don't know how you guys feel. You know, I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. Let me drop the link again. Just, and even if you're not single, maybe sometimes some of you I was in a situation where you have a partner and they ain't doing nothing for you. They're actually sabotaging and making your life difficult because I don't know why. I'm just gonna say the wicked and bad mind. They never wanted you, I guess, or they just got turned off of you, and instead of them leaving the relationship or being honest, they're just dragging you along, and just not treating you right. And it's like, so even though some of us were in marriages or in relationships, we were still pretty much single because anything that had to get done, they weren't doing it. And then you couldn't ask somebody because, oh, you have a husband, but they don't know the inner workings that you can't. Anyways, those of you who know when you, yeah. Oh yeah. And that was a good, I didn't watch the whole live, Gina. I got to go back and watch it, but I understand. I overstand. I don't have a home to care for, but I do have moved something heavy. And I figured, yeah, I have to literally strategically figure out how I'm going to get things done. I have somebody, my friend's son, who's going to come and install a tire rack, because, you know, over here we have to have snow tires. I want that space on the garage floor to put stuff. So he said he can do it, no problem. I have to just go get the concrete screws. So that's not a problem. He's going to do it. But just to find someone to do stuff is very difficult. And I find we get penalized for being single because we have to pay for everything. Everything you have to pay for. Good morning, my Renaissance grandma. I don't think I saw you earlier. So you have to have more income because everything is they're going to charge you for it. Unless you have quote unquote friends with benefits. That's, you know, grown folk business, right? Grown folk conversation. And some people do have that. They have somebody that they, oh yeah, and the weather pops up too, guys. If you put your weather and then your city or your city and state, it'll tell you your weather to get stuff done. So, you know, and then these guys who are, some of them are married. Basically, that's the proposal on the table. Oh, you know, I can do stuff for you around the house and blah blah blah. And they kind of roundabout, kind of sneakily try to see if you're open for that kind of situationship. And it's irritating me. I don't want, like, anyways, you guys know what I'm saying. I was just so irritated by it. It's very difficult. You know, you make decisions in life for particular reasons, and you're just trying to go through life and be fair, treat people fairly, get stuff done. But I'm finding it's costing me more money. My father's is a senior, and he is at the age now where the I guess older people can get tremors in their hand, and just doing simple tasks is more fatiguing to their body and their muscles. So he said he can't do it. He would love to do certain things because he knows, you know, things need to be done, but he just can't do it. And I've gotten more handy on my own because I have to do it. I can't be calling someone to fix every little thing, but there's some things that you need a professional to do because you don't want to do it badly, and you don't want it to be damaged in 2 weeks from now. But I'm telling you, these guys, these tradespeople, which is mostly men. Good morning, TLC. You know, I don't know what else to do. Like, they don't get back to you. They don't respond to text messages. They don't reply to voicemails. You're trying to schedule, you know, the work to be done during the summer months. And it's better to get all the work done at once. So you just clean your house at the end at once instead of doing one project and another project. And it's, yeah. Let me read the chat, guys. I'm just chitter chattering, but guys can come up. I'm having an open panel today. I don't have anything specifically to talk about, but just thinking throughout the week, you know, you got to think. But I learned the hard way when I get a quote to make sure the different jobs are itemized. Yes, exactly. I know how this works. This is what I studied in school. This is what I was working in. Like, I know quantity surveying. I know all that stuff. And you need to have it clear. And you need to make sure you hold back 10 over here. We hold back 10% until the job is finished, because it won't come back. Even to come back and finish the little small tasks that weren't done properly, they don't want to come back and do it because they're on to the next job. So True says, I was able to find someone easily now. It seems there's no one to be found unless you've got money. Yeah. So a lot of the stuff you guys will see me in the garden, you're wondering, well, you guys may think it looks nice to me. I'm like, no, I want that done. I want this done. I want this done. And I can't get it done because once I can't start anything, because if I start it, it's going to end up being worse. You know how it gets worse when you're doing construction, it gets worse before it gets better. That's why I can't start things, because people aren't giving me the proper quotes. They're not being honest. They're not telling me if they're available. And I know once they start, they have you locked in with an unfinished job for months and months. And I'd rather just keep the thing as is. We are having a hard time getting a shed built. Crazy. Usually folks are knocking on your door. Yeah, like, I got a plumber to do something. He did an excellent job, thank God. The person who I usually get to do my plumbing, unreliable. I don't have time for unreliability. And they think, because I don't know what they think. Sometimes for me, I think because you're not willing to sleep with them or entertain that kind of thing, they punish you for it as well. So they're like, I'll get back to her whenever, whatever, you know, like that kind of, she can't wait one. So I have to find somebody else. And that's who I'm using now, because it's like, I can't keep, you know, could you go to the big box store? Yeah, I could ask them for referrals. Exactly. But as I said, bougie, costs money. So people who have somebody who's handy, either in their life or in their relationship with, or a family member, you can get stuff done. I don't have that option. Hey, Tori, my brother's in the States. He wasn't really that handy anyways, but maybe if you had a brother here, he would have friends. So that would give me a connection. My dad has connections, so some people do come. But, you know, a lot of the people that I was using have recently retired. and retired early, some of them because of the whole pandemic. They're like, they really don't have to work anymore. They've moved further out to the country. These were just, like, my HVAC guy was excellent. He did a lot of work for me, the air conditioner and thermostat, there's stuff like that. But he's now retired. He's no longer in the business. So I'm now trying to find younger people who I can connect with and have as my staple tradespeople to use. Shar is saying, I would refer you to an excellent tradesman. He does it all, but unfortunately, he has a jealous wife. Yeah, you see, even that. Sometimes you're not doing anything shady, but the wife feels insecure. I'm telling you guys, it's difficult in these streets, because if you had a man in a house who was dealing with that and having the conversations with the tradesperson, then the wife wouldn't be jealous. But once they know, oh, you're single and you live alone, and the man's spending so much time there, and I don't know. And if the wife's jealous, 9 times out of 10, he's been doing some shady behavior. Sorry, guys. But, how was your week, guys? I'm just doing a lot of thinking and thinking. I have a million things to get done, and I had a list of things to tackle this summer. August is almost finished. Back to school is starting, and I have not even gotten a few of those things done. And I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm not going to get, you can only do your best. And this is part of growing as a person, and even preparedness. Some things you just can't control and you can't change. Just don't allow it to stress yourself out. I do want to say that I noticed since the watermelon, my blood pressure has been like good. And I haven't been taking my meds as regularly, but I am taking it because I know Shar's like, take your medication. So I took, but my blood pressure I took it twice a day, and it was like, yeah, it's good. You want to find a good person. I don't like going through multiple people to do. Yeah, I don't like different people coming into my house. Exactly. I'm the same way, triple threat. I don't want all these people coming into my house and seeing what then they make assumptions. Oh, you have these people. Anyways, Queen Shar, well, that's unfortunate. I'll be sending my husband out to make that money. Yeah, Nikki, this is a problem. And I can't really be upset with the woman, because obviously something happened to make her feel that way, and now she's uneasy. But this is what happens. I'm having a hard time getting stuff done. And I'm having a lot of anxiety because of the chickens. I want to get the chickens. And after hearing what happened to Callie Pooh Bear, that just, I'm like, oh my God, she lost all her birds. And then somebody else who I watch on YouTube and Instagram, Faith Family, or I can't remember the exact name. Okay, Gina, hold on, let me get you in here. They lost all their chickens to a predator. And it's like you're already getting anxiety before you've even started doing something. It's like I'm actually like anxious. And last night I heard something growling again. So it's either a raccoon or a skunk. And I'm just like, it's just a good lesson to learn. You can't be afraid to do things and move forward. There's a risk in everything. And instead of me just moving forward, I'm at a standstill because I'm anxious. And it's not just chickens. It could be anything in life. It could be anything. But I'm at a standstill because I'm not at peace. Oh, Nikki said maybe she'll feed him so I don't have to. You want woman feeding your husband? How you doing, Gina?
I'm good, and you? What is the watermelon that you're doing that's helping?
I'm just doing
You
watermelon
said
with
that.
ginger. With ginger. So today I'm gonna make
Oh,
watermelon with ginger and basil or mint. I'm gonna try
it's
mint in it or basil. And
mm-hmm.
I just drinking that. And then I'm gonna make some carrot juice today as well. Carrot and beetroot. And something about the watermelon, I know, funny enough, like I don't really love watermelon. It's not something I was really raised, because I'm in a cold climate. So hello, watermelons is so hard to come by in the winter time. So, but I realize it's good. So I'm drinking it, but I don't think it's gonna. I'm concerned about my sugar. Like I don't have diabetes, but I don't want my sugar to be going through the roof. But I think it's okay. I checked and everything seems to be normal. So I'm gonna keep going. Good morning, badass thing. They might want. Hold on. Let me look at the chat on my phone because it's going so fast. Oh, sorry guys. If you have more than 3, hold on, emojis, Okay, no, some of Nightbot's doing some foolishness. It's actually blocking things that shouldn't be blocking. Sorry, Tori. Sorry,
It
TLC.
blocks those emojis like that because that's what the spammers do. So it blocks it. It doesn't block it. It just you have to approve it if
I
they
think
put too many
everyone who's
emojis.
saying good morning to Badass 93 Stang is getting timed out. I think it's saying ass. Yeah, it's yeah.
Okay. Good
That
morning,
word may
badass.
it may be perceived as a bad word. So sorry guys who got timed out for 5 seconds. Good morning, Audrey. She's there. And $13 for one watermelon. No. Shar. No Frills has watermelon for $2.88. And I price matched them at Freshco. You
A
look
whole
you look
watermelon?
Yeah, for $2, 11-pound watermelon. The ones that you were looking at,
Wow.
Shar, were the jumbo ones. I saw them. Go further into the store. But you have to dig into the box. The ones at the top are kind of rotting. Oh, it's blocking the all caps. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. It's blocking the all caps, not the. But yeah, I got two last night, Shar. Or go to No Frills. You know they have a good stock. Yeah, watermelon was like $6 for one last week. I had to pay $6 for the one that I was
It's
juicing.
about
So
$8 here for a whole
and I
watermelon.
cannot find one with seeds. I've been looking, even Whole Foods. I checked on their website to see what they have. They have organic seedless. They don't have seeded watermelons. So I don't know if they're even selling them anymore anywhere. That's crazy. But I'm getting them at No Frills, Shar. If you can price match it at Freshco. Yeah, $2.80 Canadian. Listen, I don't play with food. I'm cheap. I will find the sales. I will get the coupons. I will price match. I will stand there with the cashier and say, "Why can't you price match it?" and hold up the line and get her irritated. So she's okay, fine, I'll give it to you. And then you gotta do what you gotta do.
You do. You
Oh, I
do.
can change the settings. Okay, thanks, Tori. I can change the settings. Okay, thanks. I don't have a set for cap locks, but I don't know what's going on. But yeah, just it's just I find there are times that you can get yourself drained and fatigued and in a funk. So just you know, don't stay there too long, guys. Just get out, shake it off, and get out of there. Because I'm just like, nah, I gotta keep moving forward. I can't keep sitting here in this. I got seeded watermelon. Yeah, so do I, badass. But winter's coming in Toronto, so I ain't get no watermelon after a certain time. And you know what I did yesterday, Gina? I planted sweet potato. I was telling Hudson, who plants sweet potato in my zone
I
in
was
August?
I was
I
about
did.
to say this late.
Let me tell you, I planted them already in another pot. And I
Hmm.
have these slips in my living room. They've been here since I don't know, March. I said these slips are going somewhere. I'm not wasting these slips. So they're
Yeah.
in a pot. And if I only get the leaves to eat, I'm eating the leaves, but they're not sitting in my living room any longer. And I'll
Yeah.
see what happens. But it's
I
August.
did that.
Yeah, I'm
I
like, yeah.
dropped some seeds for delicata squash, and it doesn't do well when it gets cooler. And it's about I don't know what it's doing in Canada, but in Ohio, we're getting some very mild weather. Yesterday it was a little warm, but it's not
The
hot.
nights are very cool. Like I find some of the nights I've
Hmm.
been putting my duvet back on, and
Hmm.
if you have your duvet on and you're not sweating, it's just comfortable. It's cool.
Yeah.
So my garden suffered this year because of, and also I'm just thinking about everyone who's canning. I can't can nothing. I don't have enough of one particular thing to can. Only tomatoes, and
Everything that I'm
I
canning is not grown though. I'm actually going to like the stores and getting things that I'm canning as well. If I get a good
that's
deal
what
on something. Hmm.
that's what I have to do. And I'm just talking out loud so that people don't feel pressure to think, oh, this person's
Hmm.
growing all of that and growing. No, I have two squashes and one of them is gone because a squirrel or something came overnight and ate the entire thing down to the nub. So I don't have you're fighting creatures. I'm fighting raccoons. I'm fighting these squirrels. You know what happened to my fig tree? I'm so upset. I think I have to call a prayer meeting because I'm gonna go and start killing random squirrels. Hey Rambo, I have a fig tree.
Hey
My first
Rambo.
time having a fig tree, and it has little nubs on it of that's gonna be fruit. They're the size of a blueberry. I said, okay. When they get bigger, it's when I have to start watching out for these pests. Oh no, they came and nibbed off these little blueberry-sized figs that have no taste and no nothing. It's under a thing of mesh now. And then I saw the squirrel lying on my patio table having a sun bath, I said, get your behind out of here, in not so nice words. And he jumped up and he left. And he's coming around comfortably around my corn, around my. So I said, okay.
Oh yeah,
I look
they
in the
tore my
fire,
corn up.
tore up my patty pan, tore up my fig tree. They tore up the zucchinis. They haven't found my honeydew, my cantaloupes, my Minnesota midgets because it's behind something. This is ridiculous. And I have to can
Mhm.
stuff. Someone saying good morning. Hey,
Yeah.
David. I see someone saying good morning to you, but I don't see you. But good morning. I'm like,
Good morning, David.
people want to maybe think that people are growing all these things in these, large acreages, and they're just. If you're a homesteader, yes, you're doing that. If you're in an urban garden like I am, you're lucky if you get one or two zucchinis in a container garden. Unless your
Hmm.
container is huge where you're giving it that root space, you're not getting that production. So don't get yourself frustrated and comparing yourself to other people. Stay in your own lane and do what works for you. So I'm going to be going
Yeah.
to the farmer's market or wherever I got to go, and
Hmm.
I'm going to be buying stuff from them. And I'm not sitting there
Yep.
debating, is it organic? Is it non-GMO seeds? Did you do this in the soil? Did you do that in the soil? No, that doesn't matter. Go buy the stuff and can it.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm not getting myself all pressurized. Oh my God, I didn't grow enough food. I grew enough food. I ate food. I haven't gone to the store as much. I've been eating my own stuff. I can freeze it, but I did not grow enough food to can. And I don't think anybody really, unless you have the acreage, I'm talking about a regular backyard gardener, unless I grow only one or two crops, which I don't want to do, I want to have a variety. I'm not going to have enough of one thing to really can and make an impact in my pantry. I'm not. So you need to wrap your head around that and just be okay with that and go and buy stuff from somebody else that you,
Hmm.
yeah, I call the prayer meeting, Nikki, because I'm telling you, David Corey's in the house. Yes, I don't see him, but I see you guys talking to him. It's just frustrating. And it's like, but it's like, okay, let me not get frustrated because why am I frustrated? Because I'm a perfectionist. I'm a high
Hmm.
achiever. Like that's nothing to do with what's happening. So I need to calm down. I need to just slow it down because even though I'm not getting my results, I'm still further ahead than somebody else. But when you're a high
Hmm.
achiever and you're a perfectionist and you're OCD-ish like Nikki, like this has to be done yesterday and last week and you get that anxiety. So I have to has Doritos. No, I'm not Doritos. I wish I had Doritos. I'm just so rude. He's mocking me my Doritos. I stopped with the Doritos, man. That ruined my skin. That gave me no more chips. So yeah, I'm just a perfectionist. So I have to just calm down. But I was watching when I was in your live. I was watching you were doing the budget, which is good. And
Yes.
in everything that you do, you need to have a plan. Gardening, prepping, whatever you're doing, you have to have a plan. And some people
Hmm.
are I'm very visual, so I need to have I have a spreadsheet on Excel. Hey, Starduster, I have that laid out, and I go through. Let me drop the link again, guys.
Hey,
And I go through
Starduster.
the plan because exactly when
Hmm.
you don't have a plan, you're not clear on your own expectations of yourself, not even other people, your own of your life and how you want your life to move. You can't really,
Hmm.
you never really feel that you've achieved anything. But when you see your plan and that like, oh, I did it, like I've accomplished something, you can tangibly
Hmm.
see the results. But when you're just always going through life comparing yourself to this person and that person, and that's not healthy either. So I'm not watching
Hmm.
some people anymore. Just because not that I'm not watching them. I'm not watching them with the eyes of I have to be like that. I have to have what they have. I have to be prepped like they're prepped. I have to no. I am where I am, and I'm moving forward.
Hmm.
Oh, I think I do. Hold on. Bougie. I'm on my phone. I think. Okay, yeah, pin. Okay, it's pin. Thank you, Bougie. Yeah, it's pinned. So the link's on the top, guys. You can and for those who can't come in, Nightbot is set up. You can just type in hashtag urban, and it will drop your link. So just don't all do it at the same time, but go through hashtag urban, and you can drop your link. But yeah,
I
just
was
sometimes
in
sometimes go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was in StreamYard yesterday trying to figure out how to set up Nightbot. Listen, they don't make that easy. I did not find it to be easy. I was so confused.
I watched Devil Dog's video.
I will go watch it because all the people when I searched it were not American and they were not speaking in English.
Okay, Devil Dog did a video live helping other YouTubers.
Good.
And it's called Helping YouTubers Set Up Nightbot.
Okay.
And I fast forwarded to the parts that I needed, like the actual commands. I literally copied and pasted his commands, put them where he said to put them. And then another screen, you have to disable all the auto templates in Nightbot. And it worked.
Okay.
Literally, like, I had nobody physically helping me. I watched his video. I went through what he was doing, and it works. So, if you watch his video, let me see if I can find it and then drop it. Hold on. I'm eating berries. Let me find it and drop it because that's what helped me.
Okay.
And he's a very helpful dude. So, he's just very meticulous about certain things. So I'm going to ask him to help me with the screen share. I don't know what I'm doing with screen share. Hold on. I'm going to find the video. I'm going to drop it so you can always come back and get it.
Okay.
Okay. Give me a second, guys, so I can find this. For anybody else who wants to get Nightbot set up, his video helped me.
Yeah. Because I definitely want to set it up to be able to drop your links when you're in my lives.
Okay, so I'm going to share, copy link. Okay, and then I'm going to come back to mine. Paste. Hold on, let me just put in front of it. Oh, Lord. What did I just do? Devil Dogs. Let me see if it's gonna hold on. I find my fingers are like, I don't know, like I'm on the phone and it's like my fingers are the size of a gorilla because it's like I can't get the detail. I can't touch what I want to touch. It's touching everything else. See, now it did some foolishness. Hold on, remove. Okay, I'm just gonna drop the link because it's not I can't type the Devil Dog part. Hey, Lashes. Okay. And the link's up top, guys. The StreamYard. You guys can just come up. I'm just chatting for a Saturday morning chat. I know we talked about water last week. And I've been seeing a lot more about water on other people's channels as well.
Did you see
the store again? Are you at the store again? Badass is asking you, Gina. Yeah, she's shopping.
Every weekend. I'm usually having to pick up something. Today I'm picking up some stuff because I'm gonna be canning tonight with TT's Urban Garden. She goes live every Saturday evening. And she's doing pot roast. So we're gonna be canning pot roast tonight.
Pot roast? That sounds good.
So I'm going to pick up
not for foolishness. Like you have to be getting the sales. You got to be checking in. This is what we do.
Yeah.
And when you go in, there's always sales that are not in the flyers. They're on in store only. So you know, this is what women do. Guys don't understand how we make the dollar stretch. We make dollar stretch by you're always moving finding the deals.
Listen, and I kind of know sometimes where I need to go to get the better deal. So yeah.
This is what my mom taught me that, and then we got away from that because everything was price matching, which is good. But now that Wally World doesn't price match over here, and some other stores do not price match, you have to go back to the old fashioned in each store and make sure that they're all near each other, so you can just hop from one to the next, see what's on sale. Bring in your coupons or your app coupons, and that's how they're doing it now because they don't want to price match with each other anymore.
And in most places, you got stores right around each other. Where you're not driving all around trying to get to. I'm not going to
It
drive
takes
far to get deals.
yeah. So this is what
Yeah.
and it takes time, it takes effort because you can't just be sitting down. If you're not going around them like Lashes always drive up and down the place, up and down here and there, you're not gonna find the deals. You're not.
Yeah.
And
Did you see Starduster and Bougie and Triple Threat the other night? They're
yeah, I
live.
was there. I was there.
That was
And
a really informative one too.
I
I
don't
really
have any
like.
of that stuff.
I don't
Mm-mm.
either. Didn't even think
I think
about it.
I think Carbon Q was on there too, right? She came up later on.
Yes, she
Um,
did. She did.
she came up and I don't have any of that stuff. And
I
it's like
know.
I know I need it, but in my mind right now, I'm just gonna put it on pause
And that's
because
okay.
I need to focus on the other stuff that I don't have, which is water. I don't
Yeah.
have, I don't have, my bug out bag is not ready, finished yet, and um, then I'll get the commute. But I think I need something because it's true.
Yeah.
If the cell phones have gone out before here, and I think last month a company called Rogers went down, and if you were a Rogers customer, your cell phone was down, your internet was down, some kind of outage. So it can happen. Your communication is down. How do I communicate with somebody who has a medical? Then the 911 didn't work for those of you who had a Rogers phone. So if you had a medical, you could not call for an ambulance. And then most of your house phones now are digital. They're not the old-fashioned regular phone. So if your internet is down, your house phone is also down. So how do you call 911? And that's what happened. They could not call 911. So I was like, this is not good. I don't have a solution. Hey, Angela.
Hey,
But
Angela.
it's scary. So in Jamaica, we had a walkie-talkie set. We have a walkie-talkie set. So that if you're walking around the field, like, the cows or the animals, and someone's at the house, they can say, how far are you away or whatever, and come back. Because cell phones in Jamaica is pay as you go, or you pay a flat fee, and it can end up being kind of expensive. So we had a walkie, but here there's no walkie-talkies. I don't have. My neighbor had a radio. He had that radio where you could hear like the fire and police talking to each other and know what's going on. And he knew crimes that were never even in the media. He knew about certain crimes and I'm like, this man is nosy, but you need to know a good nosy neighbor. You need one good nosy neighbor that's annoying, but he gives you all the tea. He tells you what's going on. This man knew who was having an affair with who and who's sneaking around. He knew when deliveries were coming and not coming. He knew everything. And I'm thinking, and you all think women gossip?
Yeah. True.
These men be up in the tea.
Yeah.
Maybe serving tea, drinking tea, selling tea. I'm like,
they are nosy. My husband is one of them. He always looking out. He knows he can tell when there's a car that doesn't belong on the street, all that stuff. I'm like, he just, But I guess it's a good thing, like you said.
You need one nosy neighbor, because that one neighbor would always be the one to report anything that's unsavory or not, doesn't belong in the neighborhood. They know. They know whose car is who. They know your schedule. They know. I've seen him. We used to have binoculars back in the day. I don't have binoculars, and I think I should probably need one for my backpack, so you can see things from a distance. You're not waiting, because I don't have that great vision. I can't see night vision. Forget that. When I get there is when I see it. So if I'm waiting to get to the spot, that's not good. So I'm going to have to either find the binoculars that we had, if we even have them. They could be in the garage or something packed up. If not, a small pair of binoculars would, I think for me, would come in handy, especially when you're out in the wilderness. My husband says that being aware of your surroundings. Yeah, he was aware.
Yeah, I'm always aware.
Yeah, he had some kind of scanner, and I think it's a police. I can't say for sure, but he's passed on now. But he had the scanner, and he would spend time just sitting there listening to the, I guess you call it the news, what they're talking about and what they're saying, and with a night vision monitor. Okay, Yeah, I need that because I know my night vision is not good. I
Mm-hmm.
know it's not good. When you're not used to anymore being out at night, your eyes no longer are adjusted to that. So I'm out there and I need light and I can't see. I'm looking for the raccoon. I can't find him, but I know he's there because he knows I can't see. I can't see her.
Mm-hmm.
These
Yes.
animals are smart. They just sit there quiet, like, okay, she can't see me. And I'm
Yep.
passing him 10 times, 15 times,
Yep.
and he just keeps his eyes closed so I can't see that reflection in the eyeball. They're smart, these animals.
They
So
are.
um, yeah, I need binoculars. So I'm focusing on in all my preparedness and just anything is just smaller stuff because I was getting myself worked up.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Yeah.
normal because you do want to do your best. You want to put your best foot forward, but sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you just need to just focus on the small stuff because you're getting
Yep.
yourself all like and you're getting frustrated. It's like just calm down. If I don't have binoculars, somebody might have binoculars.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have something,
Or you could get them later.
get them
I
later.
can prepare to get them later.
Yeah, that's all you gotta
Yeah.
do. And I'm
I
noticing that
just like the
Nightbot is deleting a lot
conversations
of messages.
because it's
Sorry, everyone, just keep chatting. Okay, Nightbot's giving me a problem. He's not behaving himself.
uh-oh. But I like the
It's
conversations because they're talking
yeah,
about things that I don't think of.
yeah,
So
exactly because
I can make
they're
note of it.
yeah, make note of it and then say, okay, I'm gonna put that on my list for
Mm-hmm.
future, and then you can watch
Yep.
things are on sale because sometimes if you have your list, your wish list, it'll tell you when
Yes.
it goes price drops, so then you can say, okay, now I can afford that
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know why it's deleting messages, but I know it's deleting cap locks. It's okay. I'll change the settings. I think anybody with cap locks and too many emojis. Three emojis, guys, or less. Three or less. Um, First time using a Nightbot. This Nightbot, is great, but sometimes out of order. Who tell him to do all that
Yeah.
stuff? Who tell him
Yeah.
to do all that? Oh my gosh. So yeah, I was just feeling, you know, I think a lot. I spend time thinking. You're watering your garden. You're thinking. You need that
Mm-hmm.
quiet time, and I found that because I
Mm-hmm.
was had so much other things going on and people taking my sucking my time and my energy because you have to be a good hostess. it
Mm-hmm.
it started to irritate me because and I'm wondering why am I so irritated, and it's because i'm I'm compromising my time with myself and that my routine and my garden, that it's negatively impacting me. And I'm gonna oh yeah, I can't turn off Nightbot. Someone's asking me, I can't turn it off, but I can modify it. So if yeah, now that I know it's doing all that, I'll adjust the
Hey
settings.
Audrey. Hey Carbon Q. Hey
So
Tori.
yeah, it's just yes, water, food, shelter, security. Yeah.
DeMarco.
So that's what I'm working on. The water, and then the plan is to have some students here in September, some international students. So again, same problem, but it's not a problem. I have to find the solution ahead of time. So yeah, I'm renting, I'm house hacking, making that income so that I can get the extra income to keep doing what I'm doing, which is preparing. But I need to make sure I have that designated time for myself, my space that's for myself. So I guess it's gonna be my bedroom where I can just be, on my own and just move forward and not get irritated. So I need to find the solutions ahead of time because in the winter it's not going to be no gardening going on, so I'm going to not be outside as much, but I need to have that
Mm-hmm.
time with myself. um and just I need to get stuff done, so I'm going to have to maybe taking a class at Home Depot on how to do shingling, roof shingling or something, because it's just too difficult to get some projects done, and that's why I haven't
Yeah.
got the chickens, and it's delaying things that I'm trying to do for my preparedness. Like the chickens should have
Mm-hmm.
been here, and I don't want to bring
Yeah.
animals here in an environment that's not ready. And then I'm hammering and drilling and giving them anxiety. And then the raccoons can
Yeah.
just break. I don't want to do that. So
I'll tell you
constantly being
another.
down. Yeah, go ahead here.
I was going to say another possible option is when you go into the big box stores, the younger guys in there, like
Hmm.
those young 20s, A lot of those do side jobs. So sometimes you may be in there and you just ask them, "Hey, do you do any side work?" I
Mm,
have found that a lot of them do. They're actually reliable. They will come
okay.
in and get the job done, or they may have someone that they know that does side jobs that they can refer you to. Because my nephew did that to me. For me, I had him. I asked him if he knew anybody that could help him move something in my house, and the friend that he brought with him worked for Home Depot, and I had some other little things in the house that were going on that I was talking about. And he was like, "Oh, I know
Mm,
how to do that." He was like, "I do side jobs." And so I keep his name and number now for anytime I need, like, he's switched out my faucet on my kitchen sink. He installed my dishwasher for me.
mm-hmm.
Um, Little stuff like that he's taking care of for me. And that sometimes helps. Like, because I agree, it's hard to find those people. Back in the day, it was always somebody doing side hustles, and it's just harder to find now. And not just harder to find, like you said, is you want to have people in your home that you trust to be in your home, and they're not going to be, you know, taking from you or setting you up to take later or whatever.
I Oh, hey, hands in the dirt. I didn't see you there earlier.
Hey,
I'm gonna.
Stacy.
I got my plumber from that somebody
Mm-hmm,
who's younger and knew. I think he knows my dad, and then I used him, and I did like what he did. And he,
mm-hmm.
um, I tested him out. They these kids ain't cheap though, man. These kids want to make all their graduation money and all their, these kids ain't cheap. But he did an
See, I
excellent
get
job.
reasonable deals.
Yeah, and but yeah, I said he worked with me though. 'Cause I'm like, yo, like, can you bring
Yeah,
it down a little bit, especially if I'm paying cash. Um,
yeah.
so sorry, my throat. And yeah, like he did an excellent job. I was happy with the work. He finished the job. Like with me, I'm very particular with the cleanup because some of these guys do job and then they leave the cleanup for you, which I said is
Mm-hmm,
that's like I think it's disrespectful because it's like if it was a man, would you leave the garbage there? Or like I'm not sure if it's a
mm-hmm,
sexist thing. Is it just me? I'm not sure, but I'm like, if you made the mess, certain mess, you're supposed to clean it up as a
mm-hmm,
tradesperson. I'm not asking
mm-hmm,
you to, you know, I know that they don't fix back the holes if they have to dig a hole in the wall. I have to do that
mm-hmm,
myself, the drywall and stuff, but I expect you to clean up all the mess that you kind of put. Like, if
mm-hmm.
something's damaged or needs fixing, like all the copper, but then the plumber wanted to take all the copper piping. I said, no, you leave the copper
Of
piping. I
course.
know that's money. So you take what you
Mm-hmm,
want to take, but you don't. So I'm like, so then he realized, I go, yeah, I'm smarter than I look, honey. I'm smarter than I look.
mm-hmm,
Put the copper pipe down,
mm-hmm.
put it down. And he was just like, back away from the copper pipe. Because people be breaking into houses for copper piping and into cars for
Yes.
catalytic converter. I watch the news. I know what those things are. I don't know what they do, but I
Mm-hmm,
know what they are. And yeah, he's taking off with the copper piping. No, put that down, hon. I don't
mm-hmm,
like that. But
mm-hmm.
just to try to keep yourself trying to keep myself balanced while you're trying to get prepared. And that is an
Yeah.
ever evolving thing. And we all have times where we're busier than others and stuff, but you need to keep yourself in some state of balance because if you're not balanced, it's like other
Mm-hmm.
problems are going to happen. So for instance, my skin is just like
Yeah.
flaring up. In some
Yeah.
parts it's when water touches it, it hurts. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I also know because I was asking my family, I go, do you smell the water? It smells more chlorine. It smells like I'm in a swimming pool. And
Mm-hmm.
guys, you can come up, guys. The link is at the top, so don't be shy. But the water smelled more chlorine, like literally, like I'm at a swimming pool. So maybe that's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm feeling on my skin. It's irritating even more because there's more chlorine and my skin is inflamed because of the food that
Mm-hmm.
I chose to indulge in over the last 2 months.
Yeah.
And yeah, let me see here. I think we should create a community with neighboring states. Oops, hold on. Your comment moved. Neighboring states. If someone has to flee their state, they can go somewhere with property, whereas you can throw up your pop up tent and be safe. Oh, so like if you have to like go on the move, where you can go and who's whose land you can go and kind of park on. And yeah, you do need to know that kind of stuff, unless you have your own land other places. Did I miss it? Oh, hi, my tiny garden. If I miss anybody, I
Hi,
apologize.
my tiny garden.
My throat, sorry. I'm not watching the chat as intently all the way through, but I'm watching now. You guys are just greeting each other. Nightbot is set up, guys. Hashtag urban to drop your link. So just drop your link, not at the same time, obviously, but just space it out. Oh, sorry. Triple had said, did I check out Premier Fencing or put up your own? I bought a fence. This is also another irritation of mine. I went to this place and I bought the fencing. I knew I didn't know what was happening, like how to do it. But I said, okay, I'm going to buy it. It's on sale. I went to set it up. This is why people say practice your preps, or when you buy stuff, use it. Don't keep it and then you can't return it because you had it for too long. So I went to use it now. Let me use it because of the raccoons and stuff. The main component, which is the electrical part that gives the fence the charge, is not there. It's a separate purchase. All that's in the box is the fencing and the wires and whatever. But the actual part that gives the electrical fence, the electrical charge, you have to buy that separately. But the box looked like it had an all complete package. So now I'm like, great, I have the fence, but I don't have the part, the whatever you guys call it. You know what I'm talking about, the amp or the voltage or whatever that piece is called. It doesn't have that. So now I have to now go again. I don't like buildings. No, I don't like it, but that's not my thing. That's not my forte. You're asking me to do something that I have no information on. I don't know how to do it. And I have to now figure out these things on my own, which again causes me anxiety because I'm like, I'm not a wiring person. I like to just have the kit. I put it together, IKEA, and it's done. And you're asking me now to be constantly researching to figure out which one's going to work. How much is too much charge? If I touch, am I going to get electrocuted if I touch the fence? Like what, how do I wire? Like now there's all these other steps. And I'm like, as soon as I see that, I'm like, ugh, and I just stop. And now another 4 weeks of nothing because I have to, grapple my mind around. Oh my God. So yeah, I have electrical fencing. I bought 2 packs, but I do not have the part to make it fire up. So I got to buy that. And if I buy it, can I connect the one fence to the second fence with the same? So there's a whole thing. So yeah, guys, I'm trying. I really am trying. But if you don't have help, it's very difficult. So I'm going to have to figure it out. I'm going to ask somebody, can you help me figure this out? Nightbot got me in tears over here. Oh, what happened? Does he do jokes? I didn't put no jokes on there. Nightbot is doing what he wants to do. That's what happens when you give it. Yeah, AI. I didn't want AI, I don't like AI, but I said, all right, I'm going to get Nightbot. And look what happening. But yeah, I don't have. Oh, Triple Defense was timed up for 5 seconds. What did she do?
Stacy, are you offering? Stacy said you need to hire somebody that knows what they're doing. Stacy, are you hiring? Are you
Well,
for
Stacy's
hire?
in Georgia, but if somebody, yeah, I'm telling you, my dad went to the States once. My dad drove to my brother's in Bowie. I guess it's near Washington. Bowie. Anyways, it's near the White House. Well, we call it the Black House because it was Obama then, but the house. And he went there to do stuff for my brother. And when he crossed the border, he had a hard time because the officer's like, why do you have all these tools? Because you're not allowed to work in the U.S. illegally. He's like, or take on trades jobs. So that's a red flag right there. So my dad said, no, I'm going to my son's house. I'm going to be, doing some repairs for my son. I'm not working. And he did that for my brother. And then we're all laughing because it's like, when my dad was showing my brother what to do as a young man coming up, he wasn't into none of that. But then when you get your own house, and even when he got his own house here, it was a newer house. But dad's older now. He can instruct you what to do, but he can't do the work. It's too difficult physically for him. But he's walked me through a lot of stuff. No, get this, get that. I pull out the drill. I'm afraid of drill, but I'm drilling. I'm making holes. I tried to hammer something. I will never hammer anything again in my entire life. So he goes, now you know why things cost what they cost. Because when you're hammering something, every vibration is going through your wrist, or like my whole. I felt like Fred Flintstone. You know when Fred Flintstone was just vibrating and shaking, and whatever in those cartoons. I couldn't get the nail through the wood. I couldn't get it in, and I'm hammering and I'm pounding and I'm fighting, and the nail's just still right at the edge of the stud, and I'm thinking, yeah. So I had to call two other people, and they had to come and hammer it for me. I couldn't get the nail in the stud. So I understand why it's so expensive. Oh, you got to think twice before you type bougie. This, have you ever asked? Yes, well, Carbon, I found TaskRabbit. And some of the prices, damn, may I tell you, you have to make sure it's a job that you definitely cannot do yourself. Because some of these people be charging some ridiculous prices. And the reason, exactly, I'm gonna have to just pay for some stuff. The reason I'm so turned off, even like to get cleaning done, right? So if you want somebody to go and clean like your elderly parents' home or something like that, because you don't have time and you want to, and they can't do it, they're charging just for cleaning $40 an hour. Let's say, yeah, $40 an hour per person. I'm a professional, like a professional designated person. That's professional money. You're to do like, why are you $40 an hour? Like your prices are exorbitant. Like that doesn't make no sense to me. You guys are just getting a bit greedy. Like $40 to mop the floor and to put out some garbage and to dust. I don't, yeah. So some of the jobs that I was gonna get them to do, I just bought a box of pizza and said, yo, bring your kids over, and let them go do X, Y, and Z and go chop this and chop that and weed whack this and that. And that was cheaper. And some of them said, oh no, don't worry about it. Like, don't give us a tip. Just buy us pizza, buy us food, and then we'll get it all done. Then to pay somebody $40 an hour. And 9 times out of 10, when I go and see the finished product, I'm not satisfied with what they've done. But yeah, they have to be. But I'm going to try TaskRabbit. I'm going to try some other people and say, do you have time just to help me get this chicken coop done? Because I have a coop built in the coop. It's the shed, the outer shed that I want reinforced, because that way I know the chickens will be protected. And you've already heard what's happening to a lot of us on YouTube. Dogs are coming in. Callie Poo had some dog, don't even know where the dog came from, hopped the fence and didn't even just take one, like the whole, she had 100 birds. 100 birds gone. The other person that I watch on their Instagram, they had a coop of all these different types of chickens. I forgot what her channel is called. She put in a post that she lost all her chickens and doesn't know what killed it. They had to figure out what like, none of us have time for that, because that's money. You fed them, you've raised them, and your whole flock is gone. I'm only going to be raising 3, but even as to go and dispose of them, like, yeah, I'm not supposed to have chickens. As you guys know, I keep saying that I'm not supposed to have them, but my survival is more important than these rules and regulations. So I can't call the city when the dog comes and eats my chickens. $40 an hour is fair to get. So yes, $40 an hour is fair to get a contract for a set price. For what though? For clean? Tell me for what though, Stacy? Is it for everything? That's a flat rate for any job? Oh, I think it's talking about Home Depot. I'm scrolling back up. Home Depot. Okay, yeah. But for TaskRabbit, some of the tasks that you're asking them to do, why is there a bird like at my window? These birds are crazy. And there's no guarantee that they will do the job well. Exactly. You have to watch them. That's the problem I've had. I've had people just do jobs. There's one guy I trust. He's my appliance repair person, and he will just fix it. He won't overcharge me. He'll show me the part. He always takes a picture of the new part, because I don't know if you guys know, especially single people, they will say they put in a new part and they did not put in a new part. They put in a used part or a part that's made a substandard part. If they always give me the choice of like the red country part, red country with the red flag, hope you know what I'm talking about, versus like an American made or a European made product, they'll tell me they bought the European or the better grade one, but they didn't. They bought the red country one and they're installing. So they have to show me the part that they've installed and the serial number, so that when I go and check it, it matches up to, because I've been screwed over that way as well. If you're not there to watch what part they're installing, even especially your cars, ladies, They'll install the cheap substandard brake pads and the rotors and all the stuff. I had to learn this. And I said, show me the part you took out and show me the part that was put in before you install it. A video or a picture and whatever the box, the serial number. And I had to make sure that it matches up because these people are very trickified. They think because you're a female, yeah, refurbished or it's, yeah, no. If I'm paying for new brakes, I want brand new brakes on my vehicle. In Jamaica, it's like that. You cook a big pot of food and all the people in the community come. Yes, at least I like that. You cook a big pot of food and they all come. The masons come, the bricklayers come, and they all come and help you get the stuff done. And it's food. And when they have their building project, you go and you help them with theirs. That's very Amish. It's very like that's a community mindset. But we don't have that mindset. And I was talking a few weeks ago on the live, and you guys, I don't know if you remember because we talk about so much stuff, that people who overcharge our own people, like, because I'm a female, they overcharge me. And if somebody in the community recommended them to me, you guys should know about that and should hear that the person didn't treat me right or the person didn't do right by me so that you can go and deal with the person. Because everyone's keeping everything a secret. Like, oh, don't tell. No, you overcharged me or their work was garbage. And I'm going to tell my friend that you didn't do a good job. Yeah, community building. It's just, that's how things got done. And they did a good job. But the work that I'm getting, some of the work I don't like. I don't like the quality of the work because they don't pay attention to the small details. And when you ask them to fix it, sometimes it's a big argument, big dirty argument. And then that's why, anyways, comments start going back and forth and you don't want that either. But I need some work done. I'm looking around right now. I need some work done and I got to figure out how to get it done. And right now, the only focus is the outdoor stuff because winter is coming. The indoor stuff I can kind of delay, but I need to get the chickens here ASAP. You guys are watching the news. I think you were mentioning about water. What were we going to mention about water, Gina? I think I cut you off. Something about the water that you saw on the news. And I had diverted the conversation by accident.
No, me? No, I didn't. I don't think so. I can't think.
But I'm watching the water. I'm watching the shortages. The water quality is garbage. I know many of you on the live here have water filtration. I'm working on that because that's a top priority. So things that I had to work on, I kind of put them on the back burner. Bougie had mentioned in the chat that you can pay for the Berkey with installments. So that got me thinking. So I started looking. So I found another product called Alexa Pure that is available here. Like there's actually 3 stores that I can drive to in person and get that. And there's another product. So I'm working on stuff, but definitely water filtration. I dropped a link last week, if I can find it, the documentary called Sludged. You guys need to watch it. I'm sure all of you know what's going on with the water. You're informed. Oh, Carbon, I'm out of YouTube jail. Who was in jail? Why were you in jail, badass? And the water is worse than we thought. And some of us have sensitive skin like me, so our body will tell us like, okay, something's not too right. And we all don't have that sensitivity, but I do.
Yeah.
And even now, my skin just feels raw, and it feels worse when I use the water in the shower. How does that make even any sense? But PayPal. So, but I found Alexa Pure. I'm going all over the place, but I think that's also a good brand, Alexa Pure. So yeah, check it out, guys. Like I'm just trying to find out what I can get here, what I can afford. Bougie said installments. Urban, Bougie said that you can pay on PayPal. Is it PayPal? Oh, Nightbot jail. Okay. Yeah, either PayPal or I know there's some products when you buy them online, it gives you an installment plan. I don't know if it's called Payment Tag,
Afterpay or something.
Afterpay. There's all these other products. A lot of those things are US only. I'm in Canada. We have something called Afterpay, which I use for my cell phone, which I bought my cell phone that way. Let me just talk about other stuff, even financial, because Gina's on the line now. It's good to
Yeah.
buy
I
things
think
cash.
PayPal has one too, though. I think PayPal
Hmm.
has an installment situation.
It's good. It's good to buy things cash. It is,
Hmm.
but credit is also king.
Hmm.
Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling anybody what to do. Talk to your own financial advisor and do what's best for your own. But when you have the chance to pay things in installments, interest free, that is. So
Yes.
it's paid off by the deadline. If they give you a
Yes.
3-year plan or whatever the plan is, but it's paid off by the deadline and it's interest free. For my personal mentality, I think that's a good deal because my
It
cash
is.
is not tied up with the purchase. So if that
Yeah.
doesn't work for you, that's fine. But think about it. And a lot of these
Yeah.
payments, if you put them on a credit card, I don't have them direct withdrawal. It's on a credit card. Well, why would you put it on a credit card? Because I get cash back and I get
Hmm.
points and reward miles or whatever the card offers. Air mile, we have air miles here. I don't know if that's and you guys have I think Amex points and whatever you're
Hmm.
doing, you have options to earn cash on your purchases by using a credit card.
Hmm.
Yes, Shar, I got black soap. Just to pop up there. Yeah, I did get some black soap, and that's what I'm using. But the water is irritating my skin. The chlorine. Something's in the chlorine. Something's going on with the water, Shar. If you look at my skin, there's all these eczema patches. Anyways, back to the credit. So there's ways to use credit to your advantage. So I know, you know,
Hmm.
once you've screwed up your credit and you're young and you're immature and you've done some, unwise things, that doesn't mean credit is a bad thing, is what I'm trying to say. You can use
Hmm.
credit to your advantage. So afterpay and all these payment options that allow you to pay things in installments, interest free. I'm saying the word
Hmm.
interest, not paying interest. If it's interest, then buy it out right if you can, cash, or at least buy half of it out cash. Hey, soil sister, like you need to plan
Hey,
your
soul
large
sister.
purchases better because that's how many of us are like we have a poverty mindset because we're hanging around people who have poverty mindset. I hear a lot of Americans. I'm not being insulted. I'm just saying, yes, I'm getting a filtered carbon cue because this is it's irritating my skin. Um, a lot of Americans have always been like, you guys do something called layaway. You guys like
Not
layaway.
anymore, I don't think. They used to.
Macy's. It used to be a
I don't
big
know if
thing.
anybody
Macy's and
has it.
Target and
Hmm.
that used to be a thing. Here a bit, but
Hmm.
not really. It's like, but you lay it away. You can't get it until you pay for it. By the time you pay for it, it's probably out of style or you don't even want it anymore. So why are
I
you
never
laying it
did it because
away?
of that.
Take care, hands in the dirt. Why are you laying it away? Like I never understood that concept. If I can't buy it, then
I
I'm
didn't
not gonna
either.
buy it. I'm not buying it. If I can't
That
afford
was
it,
me. I couldn't wait. I was too impatient to have things laying away. I never did it because of that. I'm like, I'm not
but the
gonna want it by the time I pay it off.
because your mentality is not there. But a lot of people have that mentality.
Mhm.
They've laid that
Yeah.
layaway mentality, and I hear people talking. Even recently, they're talking about it. In what was it?
Yeah.
Was it in the 2A community or someone? I heard someone talk about layaway. Anyways, layaway is not always your friend. This is my mentality. This is my idea. If it's not right, then you tell me. Um, you're paying for something in installments. You can't get the item until you've paid for it. You're not earning interest on the money that you've put down on whatever you're buying. I'm buying a sofa. So I want this sofa and I can't bring the sofa home until it's paid off. I'm paying off every week to put down on the sofa. I'm not making any interest. I'm all about making money any way that I can. You're making interest as the business on the money that I've given to you to hold for me.
Yeah.
So why don't I just hold the money myself until I have
Mhm.
enough to pay for the item fully? Then, if I don't keep paying enough or I change my mind, hey, off the wall prepper, most likely I can't move that money somewhere else. I'm kind of locked in. I don't
Mhm.
understand the concept, or if it's not called layaway, it's called something else. I don't understand that concept because you're giving them money to hold for you and they're earning interest on that money, not you. So why would I
Mhm.
give you money and give you interest? It doesn't make sense. I don't
Mhm.
understand it. So some of us have a poverty mentality, or we're just uninformed about finances. We're not financially literate. And this is why a lot of people, this revolving door of debt, they have all these nice things. Hey, Leroy the dragon. And I don't understand.
Hey,
It's
Leroy.
not a good, it's not a good way to make big purchases. It's not. And if somebody
Mhm.
hasn't told you that, or you haven't talked to somebody else in your crew that understands how money works, that's not a good way to you put your money in a high interest account, pay yourself first, earn your own interest. When you have enough to either pay for half, because I've gone in with half, I put the rest on my credit card and I paid that off like within a certain amount of time. Half was cash, the other half was
Yeah.
credit card. There's been
But I
times where
will
it's
tell
all
you this. I will tell you this though, Urban. Honestly,
Mhm,
if layaway to me, and this is just my opinion, but layaway to
mhm,
me is no different than putting something on your credit card and making those payments until you pay it off. Because again, you have someone making money off of you. If you're not going to be able to pay it off in full when the bill generates, you're paying
mhm.
interest. So you're now creating income for the person who is, it's almost the same. You're still
Yeah,
doing the same thing.
you're exactly right. But if you're good at calculations, because I've done a calculation,
Hmm.
and if you're earning cash back and you're paying interest, sometimes it cancels each other out.
Hmm.
So I did a calculation because only one of my cards has cash back.
Hmm.
And I sat down and I calculated because I was making a big purchase and I was, planning what I'm going to buy.
Hmm.
And I calculated one card. I think someone said hi to Broke Farmer. Hi, Broke Farmer. I
Hey,
didn't see
broke
you, but I
farmer.
see someone hi to you. I calculated one card versus the other card.
Hmm.
One card does not do cash back, it does like points and something else. And another
Hmm.
card does cash back.
Hmm.
So I said, okay, let me, I found a spreadsheet and it does a calculation. And yes, so I had half the money. So I was wondering, should I wait till I have the full amount or should I just, I had half. So buy it on my credit card, put the half that I have down directly on the credit card, and then I was paying off the other half. So I calculated the interest that I was going to have to pay and also the cash back that I was going to be earning. Because the cash
Hmm.
back is on the full purchase. The
Hmm.
interest would have been on the half because I had the half already put aside to pay off the card, half the amount. And it
Hmm.
ended up advantageous to do that because the cash back was more than the interest. But you have to know
Hmm.
how to do your numbers. So
Hmm.
even though I'm saying stuff or Gina's saying stuff, you have to work the numbers because if you know how to work your numbers, you might be further ahead with a cashback credit card or just paying half or however you want to work it. There's a way to use the system to your advantage. I don't like
Hmm.
paying interest on stuff personally, so I try my best to pay as little interest as possible. But sometimes
Hmm.
you got to get an appliance or you got to get something, you have to just get it. You can't be walking around in a hot climate with no. I think last year I had to get an AC unit. It broke down in the middle of summer, the dead of the heat of summer. She had to get an air conditioner, so you had to
Hmm.
finance it because so sometimes stuff happens where you do have to pay interest. But I was like, oh, the cashback's going to be this amount, the interest is that amount, so the cashback is paying the interest, and I have something left at the end of the day. I'm like, oh, this is how people are getting rich. This is how people are doing it. So it
Hmm.
depends on how much interest you have in crunching numbers. I really don't, but I'm hey rambling with the brums. But
Hey,
there's just
Rambo.
ways we can do things, and I guess people who have businesses kind of understand this more. You have to have credit no matter what. First of all, you can't pay cash for everything. Second of all, you have to have a credit history. And some people, not me, but some people are saying as if credit's not evil. You having no control over shopping is what the problem is. Same with 2A.
Hmm.
The tool's not the problem, it's the people. So put the
Yes.
responsibility where it belongs. Um, a lot of people don't understand that, Gina. This is Soil Sister.
Yeah.
If it's not paid off by
Yeah.
the time of your interest-free contract, you owe all the money back interest on the entire purchase, not the balance, the entire purchase. I learned that
They
the
bank
hard
on
way.
that.
Yeah, so you
They
have to
bank on
make
that.
sure it's paid off by the deadline. So if you only owe $5 on the purchase, there's only $5 left, but you didn't pay it in the time frame, you're paying the interest on the entire purchase amount, not the $5 that's left, guys. And some people just they don't have any literacy. They don't get it. They don't know. I got rid of all my cards. I sleep better at night. I only have prepaid card. So did you cancel your card, Shar, or you just cut up the card? Because if you have the account, you need a credit history. So some people have cut their cards, but the account is still open because you need that credit history.
That's what you
Sure.
need. Yes, I
Yeah.
talked about that yesterday on my live. Like, don't cancel the cards. You're gonna cause more issue that way because you're gonna delete all that
History.
history, that life,
Yeah.
and your score is calculated on that. That's part of this
Correct.
calculation of your credit score is your credit, your years. They call it your age, your credit age.
Correct.
So the longer that you have something that is out there, so if you have a card that you've had for 15 years, if you cancel that, close that out, you now lost 15 years of your age. And it's going to start with whatever your next oldest thing is. So what if your next one isn't for 5 years? Well,
Mm-hmm.
you don't look as good as a 5-year-old than you do as a 15-year-old with your credit age. So just if you want to
There's
cut it up, that's fine, but don't close it.
don't close exactly. Don't close it. And I've done that where I just said, you know what? I'm not carrying this card in my wallet anymore. This is just too. I just was not controlled enough. I think you had mentioned in your live that I was there for the part where you're talking about. I think it was you and T, right? Talking
Yeah,
about your daughter doesn't have a credit card yet, and she's like in her mid to late 20s. So
she's
I got
26.
my first credit card. I got first week of university. So I was maybe 20. I'm just trying to think. If I
Mm-hmm,
was not 19, I was 20.
mm-hmm.
Because basically, when you go to university, well, my university, there are booths with all the credit card companies there. Like they're there to
Yep,
catch you
everywhere.
fresh out of high school, fresh into
Mm-hmm,
university. Like, and in some ways, it's a good thing because, to be perfectly honest, if I were to apply for a card at that age with no job, no nothing, I wouldn't have gotten a card. So
mm-hmm,
yes, it's a bad thing, but yes, it's a good thing. So if you have parents that can say, you know what, let me hold the card for you, get the card, but let me hold the card for you, so that they're not shopping on the card. Because at least I was building that history from that young age. I had the
mm-hmm,
card, I was paying it off. I always made my payments. Yes, sometimes I went overboard buying foolishness, but really I bought school supplies, I bought stuff. I didn't really buy a lot of foolishness. I did that once or
mm-hmm,
twice and I realized that was a dumb move. And I'm not doing that
mm-hmm.
again. Um, I see you guys talking, so I'm not going to go through all of it. Yeah, but you need that credit history. So if you have children, I don't know if your child has credit history, how you're doing it with your child, but people need to be understand that your kid having a credit card is not a bad thing. If you can, as a parent, maybe like hold the card for them, or have some kind of thing where they're not going to be using the card, or I don't know, make a low limit where they can't spend more than so much. Like I had to lower my limit at one point. I lowered my limit to like $300. Then when I became
Mm-hmm.
grown, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to make a big purchase and it wouldn't go. They're like, oh, you have a $300 limit. Duh. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
grown now. I can take that off. I know how to handle my money. So I
Mm-hmm.
took it off. But that history is what helped me.
Yeah.
So you can imagine
I
because when I go ahead.
I was just gonna say I have a little bit of a different opinion on that. I think that
Mhm.
first of all, it's predatory to be on those campuses giving credit cards to young
Children. Yeah.
adults
Yeah.
because they're giving. Now, I get what you're saying too because I do see the twofold of it, but
Yeah.
probably 95% of those people that are those children that are getting credit cards, they don't have a job to pay the bill.
Correct.
They don't have no way they're going to be paying it back, and they're going to start off with bad credit. They
Correct.
also don't have the education to understand how this is supposed to be utilized. So without those tools, you're already setting up for failure. What I did for my daughter is the way I'm creating credit history for her is she's an authorized user on some of my cards. So what my credit activity gives her the same credit activity
I
because
know
she
about
has a
that, but I didn't want to
card.
bring that up because that's kind of like,
Yes. So we're kind of playing the system by doing that while where she's able to benefit on my um, good usage with credit. So it reflects as she has the same credit age and all those things of anything that I've had her on from the time I've had her on it. So
So tell
she
me how that works with when she wants to get her own card. How does that work when she
she
wants
can
to
get her
become
own
her own
card.
with and that
She
history will go with her?
hmm
So she can
yep.
now apply for a card in her own name, and the
hmm
history that she got under your card is transferred to her on her own card. Okay, that's a good
hmm
move. But
hmm
some people can't trust their children, but it depends on but yeah. But she's on your account,
And
but she
she
doesn't
can
have a
be
card.
trusted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she can be trusted with her own card. She just chooses not to have her own card.
Mm-hmm.
So because she doesn't have a credit card, I was like, but you still need credit history. So I put her on my card. She actually has a card issued under my
Mm-hmm.
account.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she could use it if she wanted to. But and you don't have to do that when you put someone as a user. You don't have to allow them to have a card issued at either. Or you could get the card issue and you keep it. But you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
do that if you don't feel comfortable with, but you still can allow them to benefit from you as
See,
the credit
my
holder.
parents did
If
not
you
know.
are,
Is that here? I don't know if I had that in Canada. I'm not even sure, but my parents definitely didn't know all of that when
a
we
lot
were
of people
coming up.
don't know that
Yeah.
though. I didn't know it for a long time. I learned it later in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I'm benefiting
So
to this day from the fact that I had an aunt that did that with me. She had me as an authorized user on a couple of her credit
mhm.
cards. And when I go to my credit report, I would see those cards and I'm like, I never had that. And then I would remember that she
So
had me as an authorized user. I never had a card, but she had me as an authorized user. So my credit age is pretty old because of
which
that.
basically helps you as an adult
hmm
build wealth because
hmm
you already have that long history, unlike somebody who's
hmm
just coming out at 26, doesn't have that history with their parents for whatever reason, and starting like I
hmm
had to start fresh as a university student with credit. So
hmm
my history that I have is what I had of my own, not
hmm
inherited from my parents. They didn't
Now,
have that
my
knowledge.
original history was my own. She didn't do that until I was in my 20s when she did that. My
Mm,
original credit, I literally was the 95%. I got credit cards and that was like free money. And I went shopping.
you
And
went
then it was
shopping.
time to pay those credit cards. And I was like, well, they said I could pay $15 and I'll be okay. So here's your $15. And then you notice that every time you make that minimum payment, your balance still seems to be about the same.
Because
That's because
you
they're
talk
just
about
getting
principal
interest.
versus
You're
interest.
just
Yeah.
paying interest. Yep.
And this
So
is a
I made a
problem.
lot of
People don't
mistakes.
want to talk about money. Like when people make a mistake, they don't want to talk about it. Like in
hmm
terms of their finances, very few people really have open like public conversations about, okay, I ran up my card. I had to pay it off over a year or 2 year, like how they had to pay off a large amount of debt. They never want to talk about
hmm
that kind of stuff. And we need to teach those of us who are coming up behind how to
hmm
avoid those mistakes, number one, and how to use the
Yeah.
system to benefit you and give you more advantages
Yep.
than the negatives. And people aren't
Yeah.
talking about them. Credit is an important part of living in this society. You can't
Yes. And
just
that's why I started
get
talking about
ahead
it.
with cash, like, oh, cash, cash, cash. If I had to save for everything, I wouldn't
hmm
have what I have. Let me tell you that right now. I wouldn't have my
hmm
car. I did not have the cash to just put down and buy the car. And even if I did have the cash, I don't like putting down cash. It's like,
hmm
what if I need the cash for something else? I like leveraging or using the, like, that's what I do. I don't like to put down cash on big purchases. I don't know. That's just me. Um, very rarely. I always pay it off interest free. I like to have my money in my back pocket just in case.
Hmm.
I'm one of those people. I'm like Scrooge McDuck. I don't know if you remember that cartoon Scrooge the McDucks or
I
the.
do.
I'll sit there and I'll count my money. Every morning I open my
DuckTales.
account and I go on my phone. I'm like, yep, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. And I check my accounts every morning and every night. Like I'm just OCD about my bank,
Yeah.
and I'm
I
making
would
sure.
tell
Okay,
you though,
you know,
the
go
power
ahead.
in spending cash on big purchases means that you can barter more.
Yes,
Credit
yeah,
you can't barter. You're gonna pay what the
no,
ticket says. But when you could
yeah,
walk in with cash, you have the power of bartering because nobody's coming in with cash. So there is a benefit in spending cash on big purchases.
there is. But let me counter your point because this is
Hmm.
good. That's true. Some purchases I want a receipt so I can get tax credits for. And if I pay
Hmm.
cash, because usually people who want cash are not going to give you a receipt, it's an under the table transaction because you're not paying the taxes or whatever deal they're going to give you. So I've had people who wanted to do a cash deal. And I'm like, no, I want the receipt. Well, if you want the receipt, you have to pay the taxes. Fine, I'll pay the taxes because I know in the back end it's more beneficial for me to have the tax write-offs.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's not. So you have to know it's like having insurance, a deductible. You have to know when it benefits you and when it's easier just to pay the cash. There's a certain number that you have to work with. If it's above a certain number, you know, I need a receipt. If it's below a certain amount, it's nominal. It doesn't matter. So I know the number for some of my purchases that if it's above a certain amount, I need a receipt. I don't care about the tax. I'll pay the tax because I'm going to get that back and extra
Hmm.
with my write-offs. So you have to know, I guess you have to know your numbers, guys, depending on your own
Yeah.
situation. Everything we're
Yeah.
saying
I
is
never
true.
had a situation where I bartered and taxes were eliminated from the equation, but that's an interesting point because I've
That's
never
how they do
had
it
that
over here.
situation.
They'll do it over here.
Right.
There's no
Right.
taxes if you pay them cash, and basically it's a here's your product, you get the warranty, you get all that, but you're not getting necessarily a receipt because they don't want to claim it.
Interesting.
They don't want to
Interesting.
claim
See,
it.
I've never had that. Yeah. I've
So
never
there's
had that
always
situation.
there. Oh, hold on. Lashes come in. There's always so even though like everything we're saying is true, you have to know your own situation. That's why this is not
Hmm.
financial advice. This is just a
Oh yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
because you have to find ways. So lashes, I saw in the chat you mentioned you put your kids on your card, on your credit, and you put your cousin and yeah. Why did you put your cousin? Your cousin, your dependent, or
Hi, are you? Good morning. Hello.
good
Um,
morning.
are you guys hearing me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear you loud and clear.
So my cousin, yeah, she's from Jamaica. She came here, probably 3 years ago. She didn't establish enough credit. So I just had her on there
Okay.
as an authorized user, no card. I had all my daughter-in-laws as well. They're like 18,
Yeah.
21. So I had them as authorized user. I had my kids, my sons,
Mm-hmm.
my daughter. So
Yeah.
whenever they're
So
18, right, they come out with an
You could put
800.
a coworker if you want to. You just
Mhm.
don't issue them a card. If you want
Ex-
to help somebody build their credit, you could put anybody on there. They don't have to be related to you,
Because my
but
wow,
husband,
you just
that's
don't want to issue them a card because you don't want people
correct.
utilizing your credit.
exactly.
Correct. Yeah,
So my husband
correct.
too,
That's a good move.
sir, as
Hmm.
well. The way you say you have to know your numbers about the
Hmm.
tax, because back then I didn't understand the tax and how it worked. So I would cleaning condos and doing stuff, and I write everything off. So when I apply for a loan, a home loan, they said I don't, you don't make enough because I write everything off. I didn't understand the write off. So I like when you say that. So you just have to watch what you're writing off because you're not going to be bankable to be qualified
Hmm.
for house because it's showing that you make 100,000, but then you write off 80,000. That's no good to you. It's not doing you no good. So I like what
Hmm.
you.
Exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
like you have to know because depending on where you are in life, the situation may change. So I'm now working with a like before you have a bookkeeper or somebody, but now
Mhm.
that bookkeeper is not at He's not experienced with where I'm trying to move to, the level I'm trying to move to. So the people around me need to be at a level of understanding the tax laws, the rules, understanding business. Like so I have to pay more for somebody else. I put my camera off because my video is just like lagging. So I'm going to see if it can pick back up. But I need to get somebody else. So Queen Shar recommended me to somebody who's excellent, and he is that person. But he is older now, and he says he doesn't want to do some of those detailed work anymore. So he now referred me to somebody else for some more detailed work. But he used to work for the government of Canada as a taxation person. So he was the one who would do the audits and the people who come after you. So he knows the rules of the law and the letter of the law. So that's the kind of person that I have now in my, because I'm like, all these backyard people who work at their house and have, oh, I'll do your taxes for you. I'll do your little taxes for you. One person got audited, and everybody he did taxes for was audited as well, because he was doing some things that were not right. And because of my association that he did my taxes, I was pulled all in, and they were asking for receipts that I gave the person. I can't go back and get receipts from years and years ago. Sometimes the receipts are they're faded. They're not even visible because it's on those old, like, receipts from the store. And I don't have I can't get a copy of some of those receipts. So now it's like they like scan everything in and have a soft copy of everything and keep the soft copies. I think it's what, a 10-year or a 7-year or 5-year, whatever the rules are. It's just, I was like, man. So even the people that you choose to be in your team, like your tax person, your accountant, your book, if they're doing some shady stuff and the government decides to audit them, you better have your dots on your I's and your crosses on your T's, because they're coming down for you as well. And they can make your life a living hell. And they can seize all your accounts and all your assets for one little miscalculation or one clerical error. It could be an actual like clerical error, not intentional. They do not care. So if you're moving up to different levels, make sure that your team members are able to take you to those next levels. You can't be using Joe Blow from the corner store who does taxes in the back between selling, chips and drinks. You can't be using that kind of person if you're trying to run a legitimate, business. So that's interesting. So I know you could put people on your car, but I've never really heard people, but that's a good method to help new immigrants, I guess, as Lasha's her cousin from Jamaica, to build credit in this new country, because otherwise she would be really at a, deficiency. She couldn't really get ahead if nobody was helping her. Yeah. So that's a very good idea.
There's a lady I follow on, well, I don't see her posting anymore on there, but on Instagram, she actually made money doing that. She set up some way where her information wasn't given out, but people could inbox her or whatever and pay her a flat amount to be an authorized user to benefit from her good credit standing to help them increase their credit score. She was making thousands doing that, like with strangers, just people who were following her Instagram, because she wasn't issuing them a card. It's a side hustle.
Girl, you got me thinking
she
now.
Was making thousands. I was watching her like, girl, you doing that. I don't know. I'm not about to be organized enough to be dealing with nobody's stuff like that, but she did it for a while. I would see her. She was flooded with people. Like, as soon as she opened it up, people were paying that flat rate. I don't know what she was charging them, but they were like, sign me up.
Oh, take
and
care
she
of
would put them as an authorized user, and they would benefit from that. And they would come back and tell how their credit score jumped. You would see them talking in her timeline, like, thank you so much. You really helped me. Yada yada yada. I'm like, hey, if it helps. But you don't have to know the people.
You don't have to. That's interesting, because we're all trying to prepare and make, preparations for difficult times, or, get ourselves in order. But all of that costs money. And we need to discuss money, because you need to be making money, especially how I was saying before. People who are single got to pay for everything. You got to pay for all the work that has to be done on the repairs. Like, it costs money. just to go buy a piece of plywood at the store is like an arm and a leg. I was like, what? Just for a little? Yep. It's nothing. Everything's gone up. Inflation, everything's gone up. And to get the labor is even more. And you need to be making more money. And we need to be discussing how you can save money. Number one, stay in your budget and in your means, how to have these side hustles, how to use credit to your, like there's levels to this. And that will in turn help you with your prepping. I need to spend how much? At least $400 to $600 on a water purification system. That's not going to just come from my household budget. Well, it can, but I have to save for it. So how else can I make money to buy these large purchases? And this is what we're talking about. You can't just work your regular 9 to 5 and it's not going to work for you. Using credit is going to also help you generate some income and points to buy some of these things. I bought a lot of appliances, small appliances with the points off of my card. Jamie Oliver pots, they were getting convection toaster oven, and all the purchases that you've made through the years, you save your points and then you use them to purchase stuff. I've gotten another points company that's combined with the gas points, and I can buy groceries if I really need to, or I can buy somebody else groceries if they're in a need, and it's not coming out of my actual budget. It's all the points that I've accumulated through the years. Or I can buy something for prepping. I can buy, whatever, a large can of gas tank or something that I need for prepping. But I'm using that to my advantage. You're shopping anyways. You're buying the stuff anyways. But no one's talking about how you can use those to your advantage. So
I have an app that I use called Fetch. And all you do with this app is take pictures of your receipts. That's all. And it's really just giving manufacturers a way of knowing how their products sell in a certain market. That's all they're really tracking. But certain manufacturers may have high points for you buying their products. So I might go and buy Welch's something and some juice or something, and Welch's has 500 points for buying their product. Well, I use this app all year long. All I do is take a picture, snap a picture of my receipts for everything I shop for. At the end of the year, I take those points and buy trade them for gift cards within the app. And now I have e-gift cards to do a lot of my Christmas shopping. That's what I do with it.
You see,
last year I had $175 worth of credit card points.
You see? And I use the app called, the thing called it used to be called Ebates. Now it's called Rakuten.
I use
go
Rakuten.
in I haven't used it in a while, so I probably should go back and check it out because I have been a little careless with it. But I was getting points and cash back, and they're sending you a check, and they're sending
you check. Yes.
Yes. I'm like, I'm getting a check. You're shopping anyways. You're buying stuff anyways. So use it to your advantage, and then you can buy other things. So prepping is not just I don't know, like there's this, well, for me, I can only speak for me, there's this perception that, you're an extremist who wears cotton clothing and doesn't wear any name brands, and you don't use perfume, and you're in the wild, in the wilderness, and you don't wear makeup, and you do like this persona of, you're a prepper, and you look like, almost, Amish kind of like, simple. No, some preppers are like, they go to MAC and wear makeup. I like my MAC products. I like my, my hair done and nail polish. It doesn't have to have this perception. You can buy perfume and products and nice stuff, but still be a prepper. So let's not get into this mentality. Like if you look into my room, I have about 40 bottles of perfume right now. Everybody who knows me knows. Me love perfume. Me love a perfume. I perfume to go to bed. I perfume to go out. Everywhere is perfume. And I have one for each of the days of the week. I'm just extra with my perfume. I'm still prepping, but I want to smell good while I'm prepping. I don't want to smell like cheese. So I have I love perfume. I like the way the bottles look on the dresser. That's my thing. Some people want to be au naturel, and that's not me. So you don't have to. Yeah, Rakuten, Fetch, Ibotta is here, and Receipt.
I used to use Ibotta. Yeah. I've used Receipt Hog before. I've used probably all of them, but Fetch was so easy that I end up getting rid of all the other ones except for Fetch and Rakuten. And I use Rakuten when I'm making my bigger purchases.
Yeah, and this is how people make. But Badass is saying that he strips at a nursing home 1st and 15th. That's his side hustles. Those old ladies are so sweet. You're taking candy from a baby? You're taking their
Badass, are you
pension
being
money?
serious?
You're not rich. You gotta be joking. You gotta be joking. You're taking a little pension money?
You taking them on checks? No. Listen, the nursing home probably taking them checks before he can get some of it.
You're too much. This is with a little shaky hand and their little $1 bill trying to tuck it somewhere. You're too much. You're too much. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, you can't, yeah, because his name is Caplock. Your name is Caplock, Badass, and then everyone who types your name is getting I have to tell Nightbot to stop doing that. They're getting timed out. But yeah, money is important. Financial literacy and independence is important because it affects everything else that you're doing. You're preparing, you're getting things ready, and most of the stuff is large purchases. Water purification is a large purchase. Buying, I don't know, pressure can, like things that you would need to prep. That walkie-talkie thing to get a good one. The one that Tarsha has, she said it doesn't even go to the 36 miles that it said. So that's going to all these things cost money. But how are you going to make the extra money? You need to have other streams of income. And some of these simple credit rules and credit processes will help you stretch your dollar and get your cash back and get your points to make other purchases. So credit is not evil, or people want you to like not have credit and only buy cash. That's not realistic in this society. Maybe like when my parents were coming up, when they used to do partners and do certain things as new immigrants to get ahead, but that don't work nowadays. I don't think so. This is my opinion. I think you do need credit and to use credit to your advantage. Cash does have its place, and I do have cash. I know it's important to have cash in your possession for an emergency, to have a stash somewhere that you can access. So that's something I have, but I'm probably going to get some more put away somewhere else. So I have 2 spots. Yeah, that's important. But on a day-to-day living in society, credit is kind of where it's at. I keep maybe $20 in my wallet, but everything that I do is tap, 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 tap. When they asked me for my PIN number because it wouldn't tap, I had to stand there for a few minutes and remember my PIN because I don't use it. Everything is just literally tap, tap, gas, tap. A pack of gum, I'm tapping. Everything is tapped. Nobody's pulling out your wallet and making change, especially since the pandemic. No one's making change. Go ahead.
I'm using cash. They better make my change.
Yeah,
The reason when you go and watch my live yesterday, you'll know why I don't use my card as much.
Okay.
You'll know why I don't. Because it's just a way that you're not really. It's a harder way to keep track of how much you're spending, and you'll realize how much you're spending that's unnecessary spending when you're using cash. Because one thing about cash, either you're a person that cash burns through your wallet, or when you know that that's all you're going to have, you don't want to spend it on just anything. You're going to make sure when you spend it, it's going to be on something that you really want to get. Like I'm sitting here waiting. I'm about to go into Sam's Club now, and I have cash right here to pay for my stuff when I go in there. Whatever I get has to be in that amount that I have right there. If it's more than that, I got to put something back.
I do what you do. From what you're saying, I do. I'm going to say I do, but that's like do twice. I do what you say, but I do it in a digital way. So, for instance, I have an account that's so every time I get Friday is my payday. Every Friday, money is moved to whatever accounts I need to move to. And one of the accounts that I have is I have 2 other accounts with a different bank. And the one bank is my play money. So I can buy coffees, I can buy takeout with that card, and I can do stuff like that. So that's my budget. How you have your envelope for your eating out or your entertainment fund, that's my entertainment account. If I don't use it for 3 weeks, then it builds up. If I blow it in one
Yes.
shot, it's done. When it's done,
Yes.
then it's done.
Okay.
The other accounts that are my main accounts where the bills come out from and so on and so forth, that's where they come from. And then the other account is a grocery budget. So every week you put so much in that account on that debit card. And again, if I don't shop every week, it builds up. If I go to Sam's Club or Costco and do a big bulk shop, then that's going to go down more. And then that's how I do it. But I don't do it with actual envelopes. I do it with like, I have a card for a different bank for each thing. And then my gym membership comes out of the entertainment fund because that's entertainment. My Netflix comes out of there, and that's where it comes from. So if that account is zero, then therefore I don't have any more fun money. That's it.
That's a good way. That's the same thing. You're just doing it in a different way of discipline.
I'm doing it digitally, so I don't have to like have, and I have my spreadsheet, so I know, okay, this is how much is coming out. And most times I'm okay because I'm not touching the other accounts. That's not for that. That's for your day-to-day bills, your expenses, or whatever. And then I pay it when I get the email. I get the email that the bill is due. I pay it right then and there, and I stagger my payments so they're not all coming out at the same time. Every week is a different one. Like water is 1 week. The third week is electrical. The fourth week is you rotate it so that it's not all coming out. And that's what I do. Because I don't like all the paper. I got to a point where I had all this paper and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is not working for me. It works, but I don't want to see all the paper. So now it's all spreadsheets online, Excel spreadsheets, and I'm fine. I don't have to see. And if I have to pick up and move or whatever, nobody's looking through my papers. No one can see, like, they don't have access to the actual hard copy papers. I don't want bills. Send me my bills on email. Those who do me paper bills, I tell them no. Email. I don't want to be have to shred documents and all that's a whole other task for me to do. And I was just like, ugh. So most of my bills are emailed, except for one because they won't change it. I don't know why. But yeah, that's it. And that's the same thing. But yeah, just have your budgets and stick to what you're doing, and that's it. And if you don't have the extra for it, then put it down. Put it down. It's simple. And don't have to apologize to anybody why you're not buying all this stuff. That's no one's business. And I stopped going to the mall to hang out. Like, why are you going to a place that's going to give you temptation as a hangout spot? So that came off my head.
I know there's people who are like, I can window shop. I cannot window shop. So I'm like you. I'm not going nowhere that, like, I'm not going to go in Target and just walk around Target and see what they have. No. I'm not even going to do the temptation of it.
No. Like, I realized I had some friends and everything was the mall. Saturday was the mall. Hey, Virginia Bushcrafter, hang out the mall. Am I going shopping? No, I'm just there. Then you end up buying because you're there. No, this is not a hang. Hey, Polly Robertson, this just doesn't make any sense. So I said, okay, let's find another hangout spot. So like, a coffee shop where you can maybe buy one coffee and one, biscuit, fine, or the park or something else more productive where you're not just in a place that's tempting you and giving you that, I don't know, that like you want that thrill of buying something. And then I turned into a habitual returner, take backer. I'll go shopping on Saturday. Then I say, you know what? I shouldn't have bought that. And then Monday I'm right back there in the line turning into the 5 things. It didn't make any sense. The effort and time that I went to go drive and buy the stuff, then to go drive and return it, I'm spending money on gas. So I had to stop with that foolishness of buying and then, I changed my mind and I'm taking it back. Just don't buy it in the first place.
Yeah.
I was notorious for that. And then I went to a store when I bought my cell phone, and the guy said, this guy is one of those people. He buys the iPhone or the Samsung or whatever phone, and he returns it a couple of days later saying he changed his mind. So then they put him on a list saying he cannot do any more returns because he's doing it all the time. So I don't know what that is. Like, why would you keep buying? I don't know. That's weird to me. But yeah, he keeps going to buy the phones or the tablets, and then he returns them. And they have to check to make sure it's the same item that he purchased. He's doing a switcheroo.
Yeah.
This is crazy what people are doing in these retail streets. It's absolutely crazy. Or they wear the outfit and then they want to return it, but they wore it with the tag and they stuffed the tag inside so that you couldn't see the tag, but they wore the
Are you
dress and you could see
judging? Don't judge. I've been there.
Oh,
I've been there.
don't, girl.
I'm not that person anymore, but I have been there where I needed something for a particular event. Listen,
And then, because my friend, my
it was
young
not
cousin,
above
was
me.
in it, and she's like, "No, you can't return it." And they're cussing her off and cussing her. And she says, "This is worn. If you're gonna wear something, don't be leaving deodorant marks on the armpit. Like, what do you
No,
expect?
you can't be sweating. You can't be doing something that you got to be sweating in it and all that.
Yeah.
You just need to be cute in it and take it back off and put it back.
Yeah, the no
Take it back.
return, like because people be doing this as a like I don't know what, I guess it's a psychological.
It's not right though.
Something.
Yeah.
They buy it and then they return it, and it's like
Yeah.
most people, and it's a problem because it sounds funny, but it's a problem because nobody wants used items. So now that retailer has to put that down as even though it's 2 days, it's a refurbished item. So it's costing everybody along the line. So people need to stop doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's basically it. But I don't know if anyone else wants to come up because I have a link up there posted. So no, but we're just talking. But yeah, preparedness. Back to the garden actually. So I don't know what dug my lawn last night. Something was digging my lawn. I think it's a skunk because every night for the last week I've been smelling an odor. So I had to get up in my sleep to close the window because the skunk smell is coming in. So I don't know why I kind of know my backyard is popular. It come like my backyard is the spot for every critter to hang out. And that's because my neighbors don't have gardens. And this is part of the problem. When you're preparing, if your neighbors only have lawns, it doesn't take long for animals to figure out where the food is. Then we had a severe drought this summer. It's been very dry. There's no food. Well, there's food, but not a lot. So of course, new bugs and new animals are coming over to my backyard because everything's green over here. She's got zucchinis and squashes and oh my okra. So of course they're gonna come over when I'm and eating off my food. So I'm just like, man. But what do we? I think I was watching Kiki's channel. She had somebody talking about like permaculture kind of thing. But that's the problem. Everybody has lawns, just green lawns. There's no flowers, wildflowers. There's no crops being grown. And it's making it difficult for us who have gardens because we're the only garden in a certain square, certain block. And all the animals are coming to my garden to eat my food. My parents' house now, there's more people who have gardens. So it's more evenly dispersed. They don't have as much problems. Are you frozen, Gina?
No, I was reading the chat.
Sorry, you look like you were. I'm like, is she frozen?
I was reading the chat because Nightbot is like.
Sorry, guys. This is
I'm entertained by Nightbot in the chat.
Oh, because David Corey, I think, is a cap lock.
He's getting David Corey. He's doing it on purpose.
And
he is so right.
He's like reprimanding. He's reprimanding David.
Yeah.
My goodness, nothing.
And David's just egging it on. I was reading the chat.
Yeah, so I have a skunk problem. The cabbage moth, I killed about 3 this week. I said, nope, I had enough of you. And I knocked them down. But the whole point of gardening and growing food is not to defeat nature. Like that whole mentality, like I spray myself with neem oil and I use that BT stuff. Yes. But other than that, there's nothing more I'm really going to do but fencing and barriers. But I'm not here to control nature. Like, who has time for that? I can barely control my own life. I don't know about you. Like, we can barely manage that. And I want to now take on nature? Yeah. That doesn't make no sense. I have to work with whatever's
frustrating, though. It's frustrating when they come in there messing with stuff in the garden. It's bad enough the bugs, and then you got to fight the squirrels. Then I have the squirrels. You got the raccoons and everything else.
And wait till the chicken, which is why I was like, wait till the chickens get here. It's going to be ridiculous. But it is what it is. And I'm watching other people, and it's the same frustration. It's the same challenges. you know,
Yes.
we can't control nature.
No.
We have to learn to work with it. That's why I really
Yeah.
enjoy watching Dan Permaculture. Like you have
Yes.
to, you can't control even like the way we plant all this
Mhm.
perfectly manicured grid. That may be good for some of us. I love that, but I can't maintain it. I know I can't. I don't have the time. So something
Yeah.
more casual and natural, and let things grow as they want to grow, and let them seed where they want to seed, and let them do their own thing, and just maintain and manage it. That's what's gonna,
Yeah.
for me, bring me a bit more comfort and peace. Because all this, okay, got to weed whack, I got to edge, I got to this. It's too much. I think our
Yeah.
whole, when you're watching people, like even about prepping, like how they grow food, and they're even planting food in public spaces that are kind of like not so public, so that they can go find food in other places and let them reseed themselves. That's like a permaculturist ideology. I'm not going to be sitting there arguing and fighting with bugs, and well, I'm going to kill a couple of squirrels, that's for sure. They're gonna be gone. But I'm not fighting with the bugs. I can't sit there and control the
No.
pollination. I can't control cross pollination. I can't control where the flower seeds and where the weeds. I can't. I can just maintain it to the best of my ability, and that's it. Try to grow as much food as
Yeah.
I can, but the reality is I cannot grow enough food, especially someone who's not gardening full time. Like I work a job, I don't have a huge acreage. I have to, I'm not going to be able to grow enough food to feed myself and can and have enough supply in my pantry. That is impossible. And anybody else
Mhm.
who's maybe getting frustrated because it's impossible. Go buy at the farmer's market, go get what you have to get, and go can that stuff, or go buy canned stuff from the store and go do that. There's nothing more you can do. Just do your best, and that's it. It's not your job to compete or be like somebody else. You have to live
Mhm.
your best life. And some of us don't have the land space. I have a big backyard, but the part with the tiers, you cannot grow in that soil. You can barely grow flowers. It's not usable to grow food. I'm growing in
Mhm.
containers. I'm having a difficult time getting a high production. Like, don't worry. I enjoy watching other people's channels. I'm not going to stop, but stop looking and comparing yourself with them. Maybe they have staff behind the camera who's actually weeding the gardens. They may have full time staff. Some of them have, this is their full time business. Sometimes they have a cameraman. Like, all that we're seeing is an image. It doesn't mean that they have your situation. You're sitting there with your little
Mhm.
camera recording by yourself while you're trying to harvest and cut with your one hand. Like, they have a whole camera crew. They have a sound technician. They
Mhm.
have somebody editing their videos. They have staff who are watering and irrigate. I don't have no irrigation system. My hand is
Yeah.
my irrigation system, standing there and watering my plants. Compared to other people, you do what you can do. You need to do food. For me, that means going to go buy food. And that means buying food that has no sodium, because I cannot have the sodium. It will mash up
Mhm.
my health. So I have to buy no sodium or low sodium, or go to the Amish people, the farmer's market, go buy this stuff and can it myself. That's what my canning is
Mhm.
going to be. So, no one's really saying you have to be like me, or they're not saying that, but sometimes we internalize stuff and we feel we're not doing enough, or we're not doing what you're doing enough. You're doing something.
Yeah.
That's all you got to worry about. Don't worry about them with their fancy, you know, don't, they have the income for that. They've been doing this for a long time. They're at a different stage. Don't try to compare as a beginner to that. Don't worry about it. Some of us are in apartments and in condos. We could never have that acreage, expect to have the same output in a condo. That's not feasible. So don't worry about
Yep.
it. Don't let it get to you. And what happened, Lashes? She's not
Yep.
coming back, Lashes? I think she got kicked off. But yeah, there's just, you have to be, being balanced and being at peace is all of these layers. If your finances are out of sync, you're not going to feel comfortable. When I had that credit card to be paying off, I couldn't enjoy. You just always feel this burden on your head. You don't like that
Mhm.
feeling. So I don't want to go back there again. So that's why I'm never going to run up the credit card ever again. That wasn't a nice
Mhm.
feeling. The burden was just too
Mhm.
much. So yeah, how's your garden going, Lashes?
Oh, it's going good. Thank you. I went and harvested some bell pepper this morning and okra.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh. Yeah, I
Thank
saw
you.
some things. My sorrel has not. It's there, but I don't see the flowers coming up yet. So I'm waiting for my sorrel to give me those whatever you call them.
Oh, the
There's a name
bloom.
for it. Yeah,
Oh,
the
I don't.
blooms or whatever they call it. Yeah, I haven't seen no blooms. I'm gonna fertilize. I made the mistake of pouring the fertilizer in a bottle, not in a spoon, and then the fishy thing go upon me. My hand and even my hand smell fishy, like shrimp cocktail. And I had to hold my God. Don't take shortcuts, guys, because these some of these things really don't smell nice.
They
Um,
don't.
yeah, the shrimp cocktail. Um, and but it's working because my deficiency in my garden this year, I did water less, so I did that has worked. So I I what's the word? Something I can't find the words. I applied planter gardens techniques for like amending your soil in your pot so that your water can be more held in the pot and not running right through. So my pots are not just running through; they're holding the water, which is good. But I have to like soak it more to really get it to penetrate. But I need to fertilize. I was not fertilizing because I'm trying to be natural, but sometimes you have to just do what you have to do. You can see that the plant is not really putting out. So I need to put like whatever miracle, whatever I have on hand, which I already have bought from before. I'm just using that now, and the plants are happier because the water, as I told you guys, smells more like chlorine. So that must be stripping. It's something's happening at a microbiological micro level, and I don't know how to explain it, but the chlorine definitely is not doing the plants any good, not at all. And it finally rained last night. So finally I have that natural water. So everything has been watered, but they're not getting enough food. So
Yeah.
my radishes didn't bulb, my turnips didn't bulb, my carrots kind of bulb, but they're very tiny. Like, so I'm trying to balance how to be natural in the garden and how to get the output that I want. And I have like you, Gina, I have a short growing season, so I don't have time to be, you know, I can't really replant the carrots. I could put some carrots now. I
You
put
could
some
do some
beets
carrots
down.
now. Hmm.
I'm gonna try. I put some beet seeds down. No germination. I haven't seen any germination.
Hmm.
I usually do them indoors and then put them out, but direct seed, no germination. I don't know what happened. And the
Yeah.
squirrels now dug it up. So there's some frustrations in the garden, but nothing unbearable. Just like, just to talk about. But oh yeah, you're free, David. I can see you now because it's lower. I'm gonna have to. Now you went back to cat locks. You want to get locked up again? See, he just got free and then he got locked up again. You're doing it on purpose, David. You're like
He's picking on Nightbot. I'm about to
snake
drop some
hanging.
carrots myself now because this is a good time. Because
Uh-huh.
it is so mild. I'm like, carrots are gonna do great. So I'm planning on dropping some more carrots with my other fall crops. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This is my first year. I would say I'm quote unquote doing a fall garden. I usually just
Hmm.
classify it as, succession planting because for me, it's not really fall because we're gonna be getting snow in a couple of months. So it's just a longer
Summer to
summer garden.
winter,
But
summer winter.
yeah, I don't really, we don't think we have fall over here, but we do, but not in gardening. So I'm planting some more stuff. I got the
Yeah.
cabbages going, the collard greens are going. I put the sweet potato in the ground, and yes, it's crazy, but I put them in same ways, and I put a honeydew melon in the ground. Obviously, it's too late, but I don't care. I have it, so I planted it, and I'll just see what
Hmm.
happens. It's more of a watch and see. My corn has not it's tasseled, but nothing else has happened.
Hmm.
And I don't know what to, I don't want to
Are
keep
you
planting
feeding
food
it?
in my garden. Yes, I did. I gave it the shrimp cocktail. I got the shrimp cocktail,
Okay.
and I gave it banana water.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give it some more tonight. Some because now that it rained, I'll give it some more shrimp cocktail.
Hmm.
And I think it's the pot. Like I saw your grow bag. I think I have the same size, but my problem this year, I was cheap when it came to soil. I
Hmm.
did not fill the pots to the brim. And I need
Hmm.
to fill the pots to the brim and not try to say, okay, a 3/4 or because that's the problem I'm seeing with some of my pots. I didn't want to spend the money on keeping buying bags and bags of soil, but the results are kind of clear. You know why she's jealous. She fixing more than but who are you talking to, David? Are you behind in the chat? Behind in the live? Maybe you're behind. We're talking about plumbing. Um, but yeah, so I'm like, so as my, when you're cheap, you pay for it. So I'm paying for it now because I didn't put enough soil in the pots. I'm not getting the output that I want. So next year, those pots will be all full to the brim. Then they'll have enough root space to really, develop. So that was on me. I shouldn't have, because your ones are looking like you got corn. You got a corn on yours. So I'm like, Gina got corn.
Yeah. I've already
I need to-
harvested it because the squirrels, I went out there and I noticed that some of them were I had two stalks that were eaten on. And I was like, is something eating my corn? Sure enough, the squirrels were eating my corn. So I ended up with 3 ears that I was willing to eat, because 2 of them were really pretty. They came out really nice, but they had bug penetration to it. There was like some weird spotting on the actual ears from bugs.
I would have cut them off and boiled them.
I thought about it. I actually tried to cut one of them, and then I noticed that even in the core of it, it didn't look right. So I was like, nah, we're just not gonna eat that. And then I had 2 ears that were really, really tiny. But the rest of them, those dang on squirrels got 2. So next year, when I noticed that they have tasseled and I've pollinated it, I might just cover it with some netting.
Yeah, everything in my garden
to try to
next
keep
year
them.
requires netting. And what I noticed this year, some of the netting, the cabbage moth can still fit through it. When they go at a certain angle, they're smart enough to kind of. And I'm like, damn retro. So I'm sitting there watching it in the cage, and he couldn't get out. So I got mad. I just slapped him, and he was like in a corner. I slapped him, and I said, and I'm sitting there like cussing the guard, like, who are you talking to? I'm talking to the bugs. I'm talking to the squirrel.
Yes.
I'm talking to the moth. Like, don't you hear me talking to people? And he's like, what is wrong with this? So
you beat him on purpose.
Yes, because my Brussels sprouts them full of holes. And I couldn't spray because I'm waiting for the rain to come. So the rain came, so now I'm going to spray with the BT. So all my Brussels sprouts have all these holes in it, and it's already late in the game for me to grow food. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get a BB gun, but everything's gonna require mesh because there's no way I cannot be out there around the clock. Unless I'm gonna have some kind of drone there watching and firing on them. There's no way. And so you turn your back, they know when you're gone, and they go and eat the fig and they eat the pear and they nibble on the zucchini, and then you have all these whole teeth marks, like, and then they don't even finish all of it. Sometimes I see my zucchini over here and over there in the neighbor's yard, so I have to go. And then the cucumber, same thing, but the cucumber they don't see because it's all the leaves are covering it up. So and then they chew through the mesh. That's right, David. So you can't get the plastic mesh. You got to get the chicken wire, and that costs money. And then you have to get the hard wire mesh because these animals, the groundhog now, George the groundhog likes to come through, and this is that's a lot of money. So now I'm saying, okay, I'm going to just focus on getting the money to build the infrastructure. And I do not have a bin for the compost tea. So that's why I'm relying on conventional fertilizer, which I don't want to rely on. But I haven't put up my bin to catch the rainwater to put the peels in so I can have my compost tea. So how can I find another solution if I haven't put in the infrastructure? Back to the point. I need to finish some of these jobs so that I can get things set up so that next season. You got boop. It says boop. David Corey's getting in timeout every minute because
he's doing it on purpose.
But he's doing badass too. You see that? He was timing out badass too.
Because his name is in all cap lock, so if you say hi to badass, it blocks you. And I think it's Tori's Brain Game's name is all caps. So if you say his name, it'll Nightbot says beat bop.
Your Nightbot is gangster, Urban.
I don't know what it's. He just like, nope, shut up, nope. He just blocking everybody. But at least you guys can drop your link, so that's helpful.
Sister Gina, where you going?
I'm actually
Sam's
sitting
Club.
outside of Sam's Club.
Oh, it's Sam's Club. I'm heading to Home Depot too.
Oh, you're at Home Depot?
Is that where you're going?
Yeah, I'm heading to Home Depot.
Yep. Going in.
How's the counter going, Lashes? I didn't see the counter yet. Did you finish the counter edition?
I'm actually gonna buy something. You know the thing that hold up the counter? The thing that hold up the hood? That curved thing, what you call it? Like L.
You mean the range hood?
Like a bracelet?
Oh, the brackets? You mean the brackets?
Yeah, I think brackets, yeah. So I'm gonna go buy two.
I saw somebody was being rude on your comment on the video saying, "Oh, why are you putting a counter there? You're not gonna get to the cabinet or something." They're like, "Oh, that'll make not." They're saying something shady.
I see that too. But that on that side where those cabinets are like fake cabinet. The cabinet is on the other side, the real one. But cabinet is on both sides. Door is on both sides. Make sense?
Oh, so it's like a fake. Okay. Yeah. So that's not
like,
going to be used. You're not going to go under there anyway. So they're like.
I don't use it anyway, that side.
That's why people should just keep their comments to themselves. Or just ask and see, is that going to prevent you from using those cabinets? But they might make these little comment like you're an idiot and like you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to design kitchen and they're insulting and it's like, block.
Because I just have to buy the I think he said he's gonna order today the what you call the thing that you pour over. You see that new thing, Gina?
The epoxy?
Epoxy, yes.
Yeah, I think epoxy to make it like waterproof and like stain proof and all that. Yeah.
David Corey has some content where he's done the resin, and resin is really pretty on counters too.
Oh, really?
He has it on his channel.
I've watched his channel, but I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it.
I hadn't seen it either. We were talking about it on I was in a live, I think it was Wednesday, and on Humble Stores, and they were talking about something with counters and with resin or crafts, period. And he was saying that he did resin and he had some content. We went and found it too. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. I saw his content.
It's a short.
I didn't know he had a nice country.
Yes, it's a short. But it said, I think it's it actually says, if you're still in here, David, give us the title of that short.
Not in capital letters, so you get timed out again. No, I keep asking David for more videos. Oh no, David Corey's been timed out for 600 seconds.
Oh my God!
Him keep antagonizing Nightbot. So now Nightbot said, "All right, we can fix you." He said, "Boop boop, stop."
I think it says resin counter or something countertop, something about countertops on it.
Okay, I'll find it. Because I found some of his old stuff and I was watching them. But I asked him for a longer video and he hasn't done it. I'm like, yo, David, give us a video, a 15-minute, and go through like the garden and show us everything. And but
David's over there with some other skills. His skills are not only in garden. He's over there doing some other stuff.
And he's not showing nobody. So I said, I'll watch it, but just give me the video to watch. And I'll watch it.
Sometimes I think it's just so difficult we know this, putting out the videos because of the editing. It's like,
who am I to talk? I have the same prop exactly. I have this.
Work.
That's why I've been doing lives every week, but I haven't been getting out the content, which I'm going to start getting out because once the garden season here is finished, I'll just get all those old videos out, and I'll be doing some other content. I was supposed to get my course for my firearms, but the date was messed up. I didn't put the right date in, so he goes to that class is now full. So the next class, well, I could do a class in the end of August, but that's only part 1. If you want to do part 1 and 2 together, it's either end of September or November. So now I have to wait. Now when I'm going to look at other classes, they're all full. Everybody's going to get their firearm license. Everybody's running to get their handgun because they're supposed to be banning them here. And if you already have your license, you can keep your handgun, but you can't pass it on to somebody else. So everyone's running to get I'm talking every class is full, even the ones like an hour or two away, way up in the north and full. I'm like, what is going on? Well, I know what's going on, but it's just like, so I have to either go in November and do it, which is fine because there's no gardening, so I have time and I can just like video that and show what I'm doing with that. But I'm behind. There's no time, and it's hard to record a video when you're doing the work and you don't have like I don't have a stand, so it's like you're holding it with a like. How do you record and do the work and be productive? Like I can't just be stopping what I'm doing to record a video. So yeah, I'm in the same problem with everybody else. I can't get the stuff recorded in time. I can't get it edited in time, but I'm getting better. I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna really get because I do want to get the like that's the whole point. You're not gonna know what I'm doing unless I show you, and I can't not show people what I'm doing and kind of people are actually interested. Like I want to see what's going on in your garden. When I first saw your first video, the first video I remember seeing was when you were doing that in-ground bed. And I laughed my head off because you came back and you're like, you were sweating.
Man.
And I was like, yes, that's what I want to see. Like the behind the scenes where it's like,
listen, this is the real. I was tired. I was mad at myself because I was like, who said you could do this? This is a lot.
I was like, that's the real, like, okay, now outros. This is what really happened behind the scenes. I was sweating. And you're like, I'm digging and I'm digging. And
I'm out of breath. My arms are hurting. It was a lot. Nobody told me.
It was just like, this is hilarious. And that was it. From then I was watching, like, and going, and I'm getting your old stuff on my feed. Like it's sending me your old canning stuff and your own old cooking recipes.
Oh, recipes,
that are coming on my feed. So I'm watching those ones and I'm just like laughing. I'm like that. Like you were in the camera, like you're just dabbing. You're like,
listen,
this is.
I was like, because when I started, I was like, I'm gonna go because my fencing is 8 feet across each section. So I was like, I'm gonna do this section and this section. I got to doing that. I was like, no, we just doing this 8 feet, and whatever don't fit in there is going in the grow bag. I'm done. That's
exactly how it happened. You have this plan in your mind, and when you have to actually do it, you're like, damn, this is I'm not built for this. Like I couldn't hammer, and I'm like, I'm not built for this.
That part. I was like, I was so mad at myself. Like, who told you could do this? You just have these bright ideas, and you just think you could do it. I swear, I always think you think you could do these things, but you just can't, Nemo.
Exactly. I went to go dig a hole. Who tell me if I go dig a hole? I took the shovel and I pressed on the shovel, and the shovel didn't move, and my knee got sore because the soil was so tough. And I'm like, I hurt. I'm like, and nothing. I'm like, yeah. I put the shovel down and said, okay, we got to get a new game plan. Like this is not going to work. Somebody came over to help me dig the hole. I said, you can't dig the hole. The soil is so tough. When they talk about the soil in backyards, like all the crap that they put down and they just leveled it off, they're not lying. The soil is tough.
It is. You think it's just dirt and you're just you think it's going to be like the movies where they just take a shovel and they're digging a hole to bury a body.
And bury two bodies. No. You better have that hole pre-dug for these people because ain't nothing happening. If I have to bury a squirrel, I'm going to throw them over the fence at the back in the train track. I'm like, I can't. The shovel was, I don't know what happened, but I hurt my knee because I'm like all that force I was pushing down, expecting the hole to be dug. It went right into my joints. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So I have to reevaluate. Yeah. I have to replan it back to like, you're on your own doing all this physical labor. I can't do it. And you don't want to hurt yourself. That's the worst thing is knees or elbow injuries. I hurt my elbow and I couldn't even stir coffee for about a week. A simple thing of stirring I couldn't do it. It was too inflamed. So I don't want to injure like wrists or elbows or knees. It's too much. But man, that soil, I'm like, I'm done. I had to turn back and say, okay, raised beds or container garden and dryer drums and stuff like that. I cannot dig. I would need to have one of those power auger thingies to really dig a hole into the ground.
My husband's best friend, when I told him what I went through doing the corn, he was like, "You should have called me." He has one of those things that could just
Mhm.
the electric thing that digs the. I was like, next time I know who to call because
You
that's
have
not
to
happening
because
again.
it's too much. But I'm gonna go for another
Mhm.
10 minutes. But yeah, you have to do that because it's you
Mhm.
don't want to hurt yourself, and then the amount of work you want to get accomplished because you have a vision in your mind, like the 8 feet and the 8 feet. You're not gonna get that
Mhm.
done, doing it yourself. Man, I was like, man,
Mhm.
I thought it was like Wonder Woman. I'm like Wonder Woman, and I'm singing this
Mhm.
song. And I'm going out there hype, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna do it. Have to turn right back.
Mhm.
Hey, GT,
Mhm.
I have to turn.
And
Turn right back.
TLC said something about her potatoes next year. She's doing them a little earlier because of how much space they take up. I decided that next year all of my potatoes are growing in grow bags. All of them. Grow
Yeah,
bags and
I did.
pots. I'm not putting them
Yeah,
in my beds next year because they do. They take up a lot of space, and the amount of time they take up that space is a lot. And then what I found is when the foliage starts to die back, it was falling over into other things and other planters that I didn't want
yeah.
needed crushing. So I need to be able to have it in a space that I can control how it's going to do. So I get what you're saying about the potatoes because next year,
Yeah,
that's
you have
probably
to
the only
replan.
thing I'm going to do in grow bags next year. Because I wasn't even going to do grow bags next year because I didn't really care for them as much. But I think potatoes do great in them. So I'm just going to do only
Mhm.
just potatoes in grow bags next year.
Yeah, my potatoes are in there, and my sweet potatoes are going to be in containers. Sweet potatoes,
Mm-hmm.
my red
My
potatoes,
sweet potatoes are
and I'm
in
and I'm gonna
containers.
try again. My beans are okay in grow bags. All my bush beans are
Okay.
okay. They're doing well, but again, I have to make sure I fill the bag to the brim with soil and stop being stingy,
Yeah.
and give them some more feed. And I have saucers under most of them so that when it does get watered, it's not just running all the way through. It's contained in a saucer so that it can have like a
Ah.
reservoir to. So most of mine have a saucer, but not all of them because that's the problem. You're watering it and it's just
Mm-hmm.
running right through,
It
and then you have to run right
does.
back. So the
Yes.
reason I did not have to water as often is because the grow bags have saucers, and some of
Yes.
my pots have self-watering reservoir. That's what I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, GT, you can put hashtag urban to drop your link. So Nightbot will
Hey,
drop your link.
GT.
Okay. So like the containers do work, but you have to know what works in the container. That's the whole point. Don't be putting things
Mm-hmm.
in there that need, but my bush beans are fine. My tomatoes are okay in grow bags. My cabbages are okay, but you do have to make sure that the hydration is kept well. But other than that, the bigger plants like tomatoes, I do think tomatoes do better in the ground. I do, but I don't have the in ground, I don't have it. So I have a third raised bed that has not been used this season. It's just full of limbs and leaves to decompose.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can plant tomatoes in that next year
You
and
can.
hot
They
peppers,
do
and
great
hot
in
pepper.
raised beds. Peppers do
And
great in raised beds too.
yeah, and I have a fourth bed that's not assembled yet. I'm gonna assemble that and get that going because I need more in ground. Like I'm a container gardener and I love it, but there are limitations. So like I
Yeah.
can't sit here and say, yeah, you're not gonna get the same production. If your pot's not big enough or deep enough, you're not gonna get the same production. The plant can only put out what the root system's going to
Yep.
allow it to put out and what you're feeding it,
Yep.
which is fine but
Yep.
any food is better than no food. But if you're trying to get more production, you're going to have to give the plant either, and the big pots are not cheap. So you're better off buying a raised bed and
Mm-hmm.
just filling the one and it's planting in it because
Yep.
I'm looking at the pots. The pots are like $10 for a good deep big pot or $15 sometimes. That's for one
Mm-hmm.
plant, one plant per pot. So I'm paying $15 for one tomato, basically, kind of, sort of. Eh,
Yeah.
let me just buy a raised bed. I think it's for me, it's a better use of the money. But yeah, I want more production. Um, if I had a longer growing season, I'll just plant some more stuff and go again and just keep going. But because I don't have a long growing season, I have to really get the output in the between April and September. I need to have a heavy output so I can can my stuff. And if I'm going to be surviving on a garden, like let's all be realistic about our gardens. If you have to survive on just your garden, there was no stores available, let's say, or just swapping with other farmers, I don't have enough to feed my family. And with my growing season being so short, I don't have enough to preserve to feed my family. So I have to rely on going, I have to buy pasta, I have to buy stuff that can feed and fill us in the winter months. So next season, I'm going to have to really double up and make sure I can at least can some stuff. If I don't, that's fine, but I'm trying to aim to at least can some more stuff. How's your garden going, GT?
It's going. It's going. The vacation really it messed with me. You know, I would have had a lot of other stuff outside, but it is limited because everything when I came back died. So I've been growing stuff inside, and then I've been having to fix this house.
Yeah,
putting
that's a
up
lot
the
of that's a lot of work. Yeah,
oh
it's a
my
lot of work.
goodness,
I know it's a lot of
I
work.
don't know nothing about electricity, but I had to change an outlet. I've never done it. I mean, I watched YouTube to figure it out, but you know, I was scared. But I had to do that. I had to build some things. I had to um, show my son how to drill holes again because he forgot. We had to put up his closet. The closet that they had initially, it wasn't in there good enough. So when he put his clothes up there, they were
It fell
drooping
apart.
down.
Yep.
They were drooping. It didn't fall. It had enough structure, so I had to change that out. Go get the correct support for them, and then I had to build a whole new one in my master bedroom because there was only one side of the closet was done, and it's a walk-in closet, so I had to do the other side. So there's a lot of stuff, and just trying
Sometimes,
to arrange everything.
yeah. Sometimes your garden, like, unfortunately, we have to like either put it on the back burner or just like not like. I don't know if next, like, I want to have a garden, but if I have to do a lot of house projects and like construction stuff, I may have to like only grow lettuce and just like tomatoes and not have a like. There's no point in me putting forth the effort if I can't finish it because if the guy finally gets back to me, it's going to be for next spring to get the bathrooms redone. If I'm doing my bathrooms, I'm not going to be staying here because it's not going to be feasible. So I may have to at one point cancel having a garden. That's what I'm wondering because I can't take on all these projects and like have to do painting and all this stuff takes up my time and then run the garden. I don't know if I can do both. So I hear what you're saying. Like it's a lot of time consuming physical laborious work that you have to do. And it's unless you're in it, you don't know it's a lot of work. And to water your garden, it's like used to be a fun, relaxing time. It's just another task. It becomes another task to do. And I'm not, oh yes, okay, no problem, Lasha. So yeah, signal drop. It's difficult. So I'm just considering. I'm not saying I'm going to, but I'm considering maybe having a one season of no garden and just buy what I need to buy and can what I need to can and just get the stuff done, the projects done, because I don't want to stretch myself, and then just end up more frustrated and agitated. Because house projects are like that becomes your life. Like you work, you come home, you're doing a project. You work, you come home, you're painting. Then you got to tape up all this stuff to paint. Then you got to and then you're living in an environment that's not finished. So it makes you feel uncomfortable because it's not finished. And then you have to come home and see these things that are not done. And it makes me agitated because it's not done. So like, when is it going to get, it's the whole thing is ruined, not ruins, but it makes your life so unenjoyable. Like right now I need a new dresser. I threw out the other one and I have clothes in bins and I can't find stuff, and I'm doing it, and I realize why am I so? And I realize you're home, you're not. It's not the way you want it, and it's agitating you, and it's falling over into other things, and it's I go out in the backyard in the garden and I'm seeing this not done, that's not done. It's like, ugh. So that's what I was talking about before. I was venting about my frustrations about house projects and finding people who can do the work and who want to finish the job properly and are not going to overcharge me, and how difficult it is to find people to do these, like I had to find a new plumber. The plumber I had was not reliable. He would tell me he's coming and not show up. Like, how many times can you keep booking with somebody and they don't show up? Like, do you want the job or not? Like just say you don't want the job. Just say you don't have time. Like, you're wasting my time. I had to find a new electrical person because the person, and it's like, if your job isn't big enough for them, they don't want the job. I never heard of that, but that's the reality. If your job is not big enough and worth their time, they don't want to come and do the job. And most of my jobs are not considered big jobs. There's a whole bunch of little jobs that need to be done, and it makes it hard for me to get stuff done. I can't get stuff completed. So I know it's not, and you're doing the work yourself. So I can imagine you're coming home and doing the work, and it's just never ending. It's never ending.
And then
So I think go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
now I'm always gonna have a garden. I'm always gonna put something in the ground, and I do have potatoes, and I have a good amount of potatoes outside, and I have other things that are outside, and they're doing good for the most. No, it's better than the most part. They're doing great. We didn't have continuous rain for 2 or 3 weeks. Like I'm surprised it's not raining. It's 49 degrees right now.
I'm begging for rain right now. I'm begging for some rain.
Oh,
We got some
wow.
last night, but I'm begging, like, Lord, send some rain.
We've
So
had a
that's good.
lot of it. A lot of it. And then, my wife, she got upset with me. She was like, I forgot what she said. And I said, all right, then. I promise I won't go to sleep till 12 or 1 o'clock. So that's what I've been doing. Every night when I get off, because I had got a third job, and that takes up my Sunday. So I've been, trying to get into that, and trying to balance my time to where I'm trying to get this money and try to make these repairs on the house. And I've never done this stuff. So it's just finding that balance and still trying to, be a husband, because I'm a husband first, So
That's exactly what we've been talking about. Like this, like I've been out of balance, and there's nothing wrong with being busy, but there's a fine line where you start to, like, it's not healthy. Like, you're just not, everything's being fallen by the wayside because you're not getting anything done well because it's too much going on. And this week has been very challenging. And there's some things that I've come to realize that I'm trying to get resolved, and they're not going to get resolved till December because of what's going on over here and this and that. So this is going to be, some of the things are going to be going on till December before they're finally resolved. I'm like, wow. And yeah, and some things are costing me money. I have to just pay the money up front because time is so limited. It's just very hard to balance. I'm telling you. And I was working like a dog. I'm like, I'm not working like a dog anymore. I need to find some easier ways to make this money because I can't be out. I need to get my sleep. I'm a person that I need to get a good sleep. Otherwise, I'm of no use to anybody. You're not going to want to be around me. I'm going to be just the, like, biatch, like, not nice. I need to get a good, I need to be, I need to be at peace. Like, I need to be functioning. I can't be going a couple of nights with no sleep, fine, but not like consistently. Working a third job for me, I'm like, nah, I can't do it anymore. I used to do that all the time, but I'm at the age where it's like, I can't do it. I physically, my body will just start not operating properly. I was getting twitches in like just twitching and like, what's happening to my body? Fatigue, too tired. You're not getting enough. So I have to find other ways. And you're right. I have to make the money to get the repairs done because everything costs money. So how do I balance that and getting sleep and growing a garden and
then these fools at Lowe's. So we had to have a whole kitchen redone. So not the whole kitchen. We had 50% of the kitchen done. And they were supposed to seal the top. They were supposed to fix the washing machine. I mean, not the washing machine. They were supposed to fix the dishwasher. They were
Okay.
supposed to install a whole bunch of things, and I've been waiting. Like, like it's got so bad that I'm thinking that this is the Build a Bear set when it comes down to cabinetries, because we paid. I thought it was a nice amount. I thought it was pretty expensive. You know, it's upwards of $10,000 to just do one side of the kitchen. So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
okay, y'all are gonna do a good job. But I'm noticing, little at the bottom of the cabinets or whatever, they drilled a screw, and because it didn't angle it correctly, it chipped off the bottom portion of
Right.
it. And it's on a
Yeah.
couple of the cabinets, and then they had it off, it was teetered a little bit. But the type of person that I am, I didn't notice it until my wife actually said something to me. And I was like, oh
They're
baby,
supposed to fix it.
we'll just let them know, and they'll come and fix it. And then they fixed the portion with that part. And then these fools we had to get a new microwave. We get the new microwave, and they put the cabinets up, and they didn't drill the hole for the microwave to go. And then they tell us that we have to have the plug for the microwave to be set above inside of the cabinet. So I called
Yeah.
this dude I know, and so he comes in and he was like, "All right, then." He charged me $160. He just to move it. He moved it. It took him 5 minutes and 5 minutes of conversation. You know what I mean? So he does that. He does that, and the microwave guy, he comes because we have to get the microwave installed. So that's another $100 and what, $45, $100 and something dollars. So we get that installed, and then he says, well, I'm not here to drill the hole for the microwave. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he said the person that does the cabinets is supposed to do that. I said, oh, okay then.
Oh my
So
God.
the guys
You're
come.
telling me
So the guy,
everything that I was talking. Like, your story is like exactly what I was. My whole like the frustration of jobs and getting jobs done and not getting that. Like you're just telling me the whole thing. Like I'm hearing your story. I'm like exactly. And then you gotta call the
wow.
cabinet man again to fix. Like exactly. Yeah.
But
And you're
then
going
these
around in
fools,
circles.
these
Sorry,
cabinet
go ahead.
guys
Go ahead.
come through.
Yeah.
These cabinet guys come through, and they say, oh, well, the electrical socket is placed in the wrong spot. And my wife's at home. So she calls me, and she said, hold on a second. I'm gonna put you on speakerphone. I got something to tell you. So I'm talking to this man. I said, so you telling me that basically I got to pay somebody another 175, 45, or whatever to come move it 3 inches over because y'all didn't identify on there exactly where it needs to go? Well, it's a circulating microwave, so it actually circulates. I said, per code Alaska, we have to have something that vents out because we have a gas stove. So that was the whole reason why we chose this microwave. We already have a vent, but y'all didn't do it. Y'all didn't do it correctly. So I have to write a
Wow.
review. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm not giving someone another $145 just to move that, because I already told my wife that if we had to get somebody to vent this thing, and it was going to call, and I had to call an actual heat and the air guy, that we're going to take the microwave back because we got a microwave. It's
Right. Right.
I'm not into aesthetics. I wanted to be comfortable and to look decent. That's the type of person that I am. My wife, she grew up differently to me. I'm
You want it to look nice.
I'm from a place where if you got it, good for you. When you get to a point to where you can upgrade things, then you do that. But I understand her
Right.
logic behind it. She had to break it down to me and tell me, exactly where her thought patterns are coming from. I mean, being married is hard. Oh Lord. It's a challenge.
Yep. You got that right.
It is a challenge.
It
I
is.
didn't know. I was single for so long and I ain't had no issues. I get rid of you when I need to. All this stuff. It was just gravy. Get into a relationship and try to mingle all of these different upbringing, background, all the religion, everything. You wrap
Yeah.
all that stuff up into
Yeah.
one. Oh man,
Very.
it's
It's very difficult,
whew.
and people need to be honest. It's very difficult, and if the
Yeah,
person's not
I didn't
working
know.
with you, You take that difficulty and multiply it by 100. If the person's not like trying to work with you, you're both on the same, like you're trying to make this work. If one person's just doing off their own thing, oh my God.
Yeah, and I've been doing.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying earlier, like the problem I'm having is because when you're a single female, to get jobs done, they think you're stupid. So the same thing that you're talking about, oh, that has to go here, that, and you're paying all these $100, and before you know it, you could have got the whole thing done by one. Like, I don't want to be paying all these small fees, and then at the end of the day, I'm overpaying. So because you're a female, they talk to you some kind of way or think you're stupid when you're asking upfront for all. Like, I wanted you to walk me through the entire job. I want to know. I don't want to be called with all these surprises because I'm going to get very ignorant because you tell me what needs to be done. So you're talking about microwave. I want to know what needs to be done to get this microwave in. Well, I'm not going to know until I go in there. Okay, so you need to give me the scenario.
That's fair, though.
What could happen. You know,
that's fair as well.
Fair. But you came to my house. You know what year my house was built. You know the odds of it being A or B or C. So if it's A, what needs to happen? If it's B or if it's C. You're not going to know till you open it up, but there must be at least, okay, if you have a vent, it's going to be this. If you don't have a vent, it's going to be that. Like, you need to have a plan so that I can understand the steps that are going to be involved. Because what always happens is they open it up, oh, this, that. And things that they could have told me that I could say, you know what, forget the microwave. That happened to me with my dishwasher. Had I known all the problems with the dishwasher that would have happened, I would have said, keep the CM dishwasher. Because I would have just done it all when I got the kitchen redone. It would have been a whole one reno and a whole new appliances at the same time. Versus me putting in a new dishwasher now, and now it was so much headache. And then the man said, you know what, it can't work. I said, it's going to have to work. You're not leaving here till it's finished installed. Like, I had to put my foot down. You're going to figure it out. And I put the pot on and started cooking. I said, you're going to figure it out because you're not leaving here till my dishwasher's installed. And he's looking at me like I'm joking. I said, I'm not, don't play with me. Figure it out. Because the problem with these guys is that they don't want to troubleshoot. They don't want to find the solution. Oh, it can't work. I got to go now. Where are you going? I had to wait how many weeks for you to get here to book your time. Guess what? You ain't leaving here. If you want to see your family again, you better get that dishwasher installed. And I'm not paying you a red cent unless it's installed. I'm not paying you for a half a job. So let me just be very clear. You ain't getting a red cent from me. And if I don't act like that, like a ruffian, a ragamuffin, I don't get what I want done. And it's very frustrating. And that's why I'm like, you know what? I have to take a break from these projects because it's difficult as a woman. So I can imagine you're talking about your frustration, but imagine a single woman having to deal with all of this stuff. Then I have to call someone to ask them if what they told me is truthful or could be plausible, or is it just a total made up thing? I went to go get tires once and they said, oh, you have to get this brand, otherwise all kind of story. And then when I called someone and said, no, that's a lie. I said, put back my tires and let me go. He goes, what? I go, put back my old tires. I'm leaving. I'm going somewhere else. I'm not giving you my business because you're telling me pure crap. But if I didn't have somebody to call to tell me, no, they're lying to you. Don't trust them. I would have been paying arms, and this is how they treat us. They female, and they think you're dumb and give you things that you don't need to have. So yeah,
they're gonna scheme and find things a lot of times with all kinds of, whether you're a woman, whether you're black, whether you understand English well, whatever they can find to try to get that extra buck. A lot of people are like that. Like the people that we got the house from, we have a elevator in the house. The elevator works, but it's not in compliance with the actual there's a compliance department or whatever. Yeah. And they knew this in 2012. And that was one of the conditions of us buying the house. Because I'm trying to set up I'm trying to work my business, and it was supposed to be done this year, but a lot of things have happened. So I'm not able to operate the way I want to operate. But they knew this
Right.
because I found the paperwork. I found the paperwork, and they had two other people come and look at it, and they never asked for a quote, but they knew that it wasn't operating because they had to get these certain parts and then have these installed. And then when we went for it, I told them that you have to give us such and such, this much money, this much money. You have to give us this. You have to have this fixed. This need to be eradicated. We gave them conditions, and on the last couple of days, then they're gonna hit us with, oh well, we can't get the elevator done. It's not seems like it's not functioning. And we was in crosshairs because I had everything set up. Everything was set up. So I took the deal, but
So did
I
they
feel
lower
like
the
I was
price?
being
Did they
gamed.
lower the Did they lower the price?
Oh, they gave me
To
they put in work. They made it actual. The reason why, I'm gonna be honest about it now. I knew my situation as far as my financial dilemmas about what financially we needed assistance with, and I went to the table. I went to the table understanding the market and knowing that we was not going to be able to get a a a turnkey home. I knew that, and so
Mhm.
I had to make sure that, hey, if you're gonna give us something to where we're gonna have to do some repairs to, you're gonna have to give us we're gonna have to give us some money, and that's what they did. So they gave
Correct.
us. They
Okay.
knocked off
Okay.
a good amount. They knocked that off,
To pay for the
and
elevator.
but
Yeah. Okay.
no, it was not. No, we still had the impression that the elevator was going to be done because we had conditions that had to be done regardless, and then we had things that they had to repair that was in the scope of $10,000, and then they had other stuff that they had to pay for us to even purchase the house. So it was a deal, but it's just I wouldn't operate. I'm too honest, and I believe in people too much. That's my biggest issue. That's and when it comes down to if I was prepping, someone said, "What is your biggest what is weakness?" And mine's is compassion. I have a lot of compassion for man. I love man. When I say man, I'm talking about mankind, not man as in
Yeah.
that dude. But I have
Yeah.
a lot of compassion for mankind, and it gets in the way sometimes because I'm gullible to a lot of things because I'm too honest. I don't lie. If it's nobody's business, then I say it's nobody's business, but I don't lie. There's nobody on this earth. Maybe my son I have to lie to a little bit, and that's because he's still child. He's still a child. He's innocent. So there's certain things that he shouldn't. I'm not going to discuss with him because he's still my child. But anybody else, my wife, anybody else, you shouldn't ask me certain questions. Point blank, period, because I'm gonna go around the question. I'm not a direct person, but I'm gonna go around the question. I'm gonna do everything I can to not give you the truth. And if I do give you the truth, and I know you're not gonna like it, I'm gonna try to give it to you in appeal form because that's just how I operate. I work with individuals that experience disability, so I come about my whole life that way, and that gives me good practice. But
I had the
that
same, but
dude,
not the same. But I had a negative experience with with the home I'm in now, the first purchase, and that's what you're talking about. I learned some of those hard lessons as well because people present something because they want the sale, and I at the
Yep.
time I did not feel that my agent was really fighting for me. And sometimes it's different personalities and expectations, but next time that won't be happening. So I hear you. That for me, next time around, I'm going to be more shrewd and more like if you're not going to give me what I asked for, then you're cutting off the price, or I'm suing you, or something's going to happen because if you gave me your word, it's in writing that you're going to fix this and fix that, and it's not done. I'm at a stage now where I've learned more about real estate. You're not getting away with that. I got screwed with a bad
Yeah.
roof. I got screwed with this, and I got a few things I had to pay out of pocket for when I moved into this house, and things I still have to get repaired because they lied, and then they're just. I'm telling you, it's a very negative experience when you sometimes buy your first home and the person is not honest and they just care about the bottom
Yes.
dollar, and the agent did not
And
really
you're
fight for
well in,
you. Go ahead.
yeah, you're well within your rights to ask for receipts as well for what they did. I had contingencies for my purchase of my house. I wanted the roof and the AC, the HVAC updated. I got receipts. the receipts, so that therefore, if I had an issue, I could just go back to the company that did the work because it was under warranty.
Correct.
So you are well within
And
your
even
rights to ask for
and
receipts for
even
those
that,
things that they
the
say they're going to
warranty
do.
was already expired, and they knew, and they had to go pay for a motor for the furnace on Christmas Eve. And if I didn't get the
Ooh.
guy in time to come and do the work, the same guy who retired, the shops were closing early, and the man stayed open for my guy to get the parts because it's Christmas Eve, and it's going to be like a 3 or 4 day long weekend. And can you imagine not having heat, like in the middle? Like, stuff has happened,
In
and the
Canada?
person did not. Yes, and the warranty, the guy did not register the part, so there was no warranty. My parts have been put in, so there is a warranty. So the next owner has a 10-year warranty. But the people don't do. There's things that people do that just not right, and you don't know to ask because you don't know. And I'm telling you, so everything you've gone through, just learn the lessons, GT, learn them well, because the next time around, you're gonna be very shrewd. You're gonna know, because it's
Yeah,
very
like
difficult to tell. You know, go ahead, GT.
what I've done is, because of my nature, who I am, I've actually looked at the house as a positive. I mean, I'm complaining about it now, but I've looked at it
Mm-hmm.
as a positive because I was actually able to do these projects that I've never done in my life. And it actually brought me and my wife closer. My wife has never painted anything in her life. She ain't even never painted her toes. I done painted her toes more than she done did it. So it actually, I can't stand naked toes. It just bothers me. I dated this Puerto Rican. She was real short. She had these small feet or whatever, and she used to paint her toes all the time. And then that's when I started like it. I started to appreciate a little bit about toes. I don't care really, but
You
it
don't
brought
like
me and
naked
her
toes?
closer. No, 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 no. And so it actually brought us together to where we took pictures of just our adventure, because it's been beautiful. Like, we was gonna pay,
Yeah.
this guy wanted to charge us $2,500 to paint our downstairs, and I told my dad about it, and he said that seems about reasonable. And I said, you know what? I said, me and my wife, we're gonna have to do this. And she was like, no, we not. I'm not. I'm gonna pay a professional. I was like, no, I'm not putting foot in that
Let me
bill. I was
jump
like,
into
no,
it.
we're not gonna do that, baby. What we gonna do is we gonna take off work. We gonna turn on some music. We ain't gonna have no child around. We gonna do it on the weekend, and we gonna kick it. I mean, we gonna kick it. I'm talking about we gonna what the plan is. Our My son, he ain't gonna be there. He gonna be gone with the grandma, and we just gonna call out of work, and when we get hungry, we just gonna go to DoorDash, go make a little money with DoorDash, make a little $20, $30 real quick, take us an hour and a half, something
Mm-hmm.
like that, and then we just gonna buy whatever wherever we want, eat that food, and get back to painting. And I felt like it was a beautiful project, but I've been just getting this money up because we had to replace almost all the electronics in there. I mean, not electronics, all the appliances in there. So it's
Appliances. Yeah.
really
It's
like,
not. Yeah.
the washer. They had two washing machines in there. One of them worked for about, let me see, 8 cycles, and then it clunked out. I was like, wow. So we had to buy another washing machine, a stove, a dishwasher, a microwave. We bought everything. We had to buy all of this stuff, and I did it because we have to have a washing machine. A dishwasher, I don't have to have a dishwasher because I hand wash my
I
dishes
hand wash. I hand
anyway.
wash.
I can't.
I hand wash. Yep.
So, but I did it because my wife really didn't want the house. She wanted a turnkey house, and the reason why I chose that house is because the way the market was at that time was crazy. I mean, everything that we wanted was going out just like that. Bam, bam, bam. And it was like, okay, they won't even give us, we couldn't get $10,000 closing costs. We couldn't get that. They got these programs and stuff, but I almost missed. I mean, it was just so much. It was so much. And then it took these people 3 weeks to 2 months to come and put in a um a, a microwave. It take them
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
3 months, and all it take them so long to do the simplest thing. Mind you, we've been
Yep.
without a functioning kitchen for 3 months. Yeah, 3 months
That's
we've
right.
been without a functioning kitchen. There's no water there. We can't. When I make my coffee in the morning, I got back on coffee. I had stopped. I never did like coffee because I got ADHD, so it messes me up. But I started drinking coffee because I need some more energy, and I haven't constructed my diet correctly because I'm in the community a lot, and I don't use the bathroom everywhere. That's just not who I am. So I didn't mean to say that.
It's all right. I'm the same way, but if I have to, I gotta go because I don't like the public washrooms either. I don't, but sometimes like
I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to
something
tell
real.
nobody
All right,
that.
all right,
But yeah,
all right.
it's
Real
been
life
a
over here.
challenge. And then
Yeah, it's been a
granite
challenge. Yeah.
is granite sucks. I do not like granite. My wife, I let her
No, I
choose
have
all the stuff.
quartz.
Hmm?
No quartz. I have quartz because
I,
I think granite is very porous, like kind of like marble, and it stains easily. Does it stain easily, granite? Well, you got to seal it, so I don't
that's
want to do all that work. I have quartz, and it looks like marble or granite. It looks just as good,
and
and it's
that's
durable.
what I wanted once I
Durable.
found out that you can't use bleach and you can't use
No,
vinegar on the
no,
granite because it wears down the
no.
seal and some other stuff.
Yep,
I told my wife, I was
correct.
like, that's stupid. I wash
That's not
everything
what
with
makes.
bleach. What?
Damn
Are you
right.
serious?
We're Jamaican.
So,
We love our bleach. We love our vinegar. So that can't work. That cannot work over here. So
and see,
we have
I
quartz.
went
Yeah.
when I went for my agent, I made sure I went black, and it was because I had an experience with somebody that she had met, um, and he didn't. It wasn't correct. Like everything that he was sending us was in a neighborhood where I planned to get fruit trees, so it was like we can't live here because there's homelessness in this particular area. I'm kind of worried about the thugs and that type of environment because of my son. But for
Mhm.
me, I, I just was worried about my fruit trees, but he kept sending us these areas. And I'm like, this is not the go to. And it felt like redlining, but I couldn't actually say that. And so I made sure that I went black,
Oh,
and
okay.
she made sure that everything that we did, we had receipts for. Like I forgot, there's some issue that we called about. They came and fixed it. And it was because it was under warranty through what they did, because we told them that you have to have this done. Blah,
And the receipt.
and then
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
addition to those things, you have to spend $10,000 inside of the home on things that has to be done for us to even say we'll think about it. And the other house that we wanted, it was in the HOA, so I couldn't do that. I would
Yeah. I
never
don't.
do a HOA. Let Lash's Journey told me about the grass
Yep.
situation she
You have to
had where they was
follow
gonna
their.
charge her 100. I figured that that's the most gangster junk you can ever do. You could tell somebody, "Hey, I'm gonna send you a letter and tell you that if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm gonna take $100 every day." You can't tell
Yeah.
me that
Not
ain't
even.
gangster.
Not even a
I'm
month.
sorry, you
Every
can't do that
day.
to me, partner. No sir,
No.
no sir.
No. I have no problem. Like the concept of HOA sounds good in concept, but not in reality. Like you do want their neighbors to keep their place tidy and clean. Like I understand that, but you don't have to live in an HOA because you can call the city. Because I had to call the city on a few things recently, and I don't like calling the city because you're like you have the mentality of you're snitches get stitches and that kind of stuff. But if
You a
your
citizen.
garbage is not exactly like if you're not keeping your place clean and there's mice and there's like you're affecting me, like your nastiness is affecting me. At a certain point I have to call, so I did make a couple of calls, and other people have called for the same neighbor because it's becoming a problem. But I don't I expect you to keep your place clean and tidy. You don't have to have it fancy, but the HOA and hearing how they operate is it's just wickedness. It's like I'm in bondage and I'm not paying for a house where I can't have the liberty to pick the color I want to paint it and do what I want and have my own individuality. Like, nah, that's not gonna work for me. And I can and my grass has so in a drought. So we're in a drought. My grass has to be green. That doesn't make any sense. You're in a drought. So like the whole concept is like I find HOAs are like a place that they can have Karens running like just Karens can run free and roam free. And this
That's why
Karen
I
out
wouldn't
this
live in
year,
one.
or
That's
curiosity,
not for me.
yeah, it's not for me. So I don't want to be around
Mm-mm.
Karens or have to deal
That's
with these
exactly
Karens.
what it
So
is.
I'm gonna just live somewhere else.
Yes. Well, I'm about to head down back down
So
into the
yeah,
chat because I'm about to go into Sam's Club. But it's been nice, guys.
yeah.
But I'm gonna still be in here.
I'm
I'll be
gonna go
listening.
soon, but yeah, man, thanks. But I'm gonna end soon because I have to
Bye,
take
Tina.
the students leaving today back to Europe, so I'm gonna take him to the airport. So I'm gonna serve him lunch in 5 minutes, and then so he can have a good meal, so he's not traveling hungry, and then go. But yeah, I'm gonna um yeah, but it's just very frustrating. But I'm not complaining. Don't But sometimes you need to vent a bit. We're all going through stuff, and it's like there's some challenges going on, and it can really drain you sometimes and make you feel just tired, emotionally and mentally tired, especially when you're working, other jobs. You're trying to make this money. You're trying to prep. You're trying to try like the list is endless, and you just feel a little bit tired, and you feel like everywhere you turn, there's some kind of challenge or argument or fight to get what you want or what you're paying for. And just some days you just need to get it off your chest. But we're not complaining. Like we're blessed to have what we have. It's a privilege, and you're striving to have provide for your family and for ourselves. It's a privilege, and we understand that, but just sometimes it just gets so tedious and you're just tired and you just want just to can something just go smooth once? Like once? Can it go smooth?
And the thing that I'm starting to realize, the real estate agent actually told us this. She was like, "Well, when it comes down to it, this doesn't have to be your forever home." And I was forgetting that portion. So we've made a commitment, me and my wife, that we're at least going to spend 5 years in here. And well,
Hmm.
not here because I'm at work, but we're going to spend at
Yeah.
least 5 years in the home so we can at least gain some of that, money back for the
Equity.
renovations and
Yeah.
the upgrades that
Yeah.
we did. And then we'll decide if we want to stay in Alaska, keep the house. Um, we have a lot of different scenarios that we can evaluate at that time because my son will
Hmm.
be graduated from school and hopefully he'll want to take a trade up here. So hopefully he finds a good girl and he wants to stay in Alaska or something because my business is going to start thriving next year. I went hard because my son, he was gone for the summer. He went to Georgia with his
Atlanta,
mama down there.
Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Georgia with his mama and he came back up here. So I was able to grab these three jobs and, invest my time to, make sure that when my car, I've spent $2,000 on getting repairs and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that Gina mentioned that actually made me pay attention. She was like, look, don't wait. Start doing $1 here, $1 there, the $2 the next day, and all that stuff. So I've made the envelopes, and I'm starting next month.
Hmm.
And my dad was proud, but he said, "Why take somebody on YouTube to tell you?" I said, "Sometimes you need a different perspective or hear it from someone else,
Exactly.
and it just confirms and reassures what you have said." I said, "Dad, you know I'm gonna listen to you." I said, "I might not do it. I might not apply what you told me." I said, "But she
Hmm.
made a lot of sense. She broke it down, and." I'm going to do it. And I know it's worked for my dad because he budgets everything. I asked him about 6 months ago if he had half of the money that I needed to start my business. And he said, yes. But then when it came around time for it, it was like, no, son, I had to use that budget money for such and such and such and such. And I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not
Hmm.
gonna trip. I mean, because it's your
Yeah,
money. You
stuff
do what you
happens
please.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wasn't mad about it, but it just put things in a perspective to where I shouldn't have had to ask them for it anyway because I got three jobs, but I keep on buying this gardening stuff. So I have to put myself on a budget so that I can actually obtain the things that I
Yeah,
want. So
exactly.
I'm going ham
And
this
I
year.
think you're in
I'm
a
my
place to hear it
garden,
now, though, because
everything.
sometimes we're just not we're hearing it, but we're not hearing it because your life situation doesn't warrant you to have to make any changes. But now that you have to make these changes, you're more willing to say, okay, I have these goals, I have this house, I need to make some of these changes so I can reach my next goal. So now you're willing to hear another perspective. And people have to understand that, because my friend helped her child move out. And now the lessons that she taught him are making sense to him because he has to apply them. He's not under mama's wing and daddy's wing anymore. He's on his own. So now you have a home, and now you're seeing, oh, shoot, this, like, now you're seeing things differently, and you understand, okay, I need to budget. Because some people have 3 and 4 jobs, but just as broke as before. Why? Because they're not watching where the dollars are going. So if you can have 50 million jobs, if you're not going to change your habits, it's not going to get better. So, oh, you timed out, David. Yes. I'm going to watch the emojis. David, don't put too many emojis, because this is exactly Nightbot don't like. Put one smiling face, not 6 of them. But yeah, so
So
I hear you. And
did you
it's
get your
like, wow, you have to
watermelon?
learn. I got 2
Did you get
watermelons,
your
but they're seedless, and
oh
I'm growing watermelon, but not enough. This is what I'm finding. I'm sure because you're in a cold climate. I can't grow enough food to sustain what I need. Like, I really can't. I could, but that would be a full-time job, and my whole living room would just be hydroponics. Like, it's impossible. So I'm gonna have to have sources of food that is not just me growing. Like, I've come to a new awakening today. It's like, it's impossible. So I'm gonna have to drive to the Amish. I'm gonna find the Amish farms, purchase stuff from them, can it, juice it, freeze it, dehydrate, whatever I gotta do. But in terms of preparedness, I cannot grow enough here to sustain me, nor do I have the time, because I'm out here hustling and getting my income to make some larger purchases. Water filtration. I want solar panels. There's things that I want to purchase. And right now, making the money is the priority so I can purchase this stuff. So gardening is always going to be there, but the level of gardening is not going to be maybe what it is. It might be some things. I might just grow more of the same things and not have so much variety. I don't know. I haven't decided. I just need to figure out, because I need to get repairs done. I'm at over the 5-year mark in this home. It's not my forever home. Once you get your mind around that, you're right, GT, it's not your forever home. I am now looking to see, can I get something else a little further away? I've been working from home during the pandemic, and they've basically said we are going to be working from home, period. They're not going back to an in-office model. So I have the liberty, as long as I have good internet, to go wherever I want. I don't have to be near the office. If that's the case, I need to find someplace that will give me more acreage. I have an infrastructure. Irrigation is really important, because I can't be watering. If I can't manage my own gardening watering, I can't manage a bigger plot watering. It's not going to work. I have aging, my dad's getting older. I need to have a team, a family around me. My sisters, live together and just work together and get this thing done. Because when you're all doing it solo, you're not getting as much headway. You need your village. And I'm looking to get this house fixed up so I can get good market value for it. And then find something else that can give me, maybe a half an acre, or I don't know. But whatever I'm going to get is going to be suitable. But that being said, it's going to be more responsibility. I can't mow the lawn with a lawnmower. I'm going to need to get a tractor. Like, there's going to be more money for all these stuff. So I'm just at a point where I'm just reevaluating some things, trying to get my life more balanced. Because right now, there's just too much going on, and it's too much is because I'm trying to make more income. So next month, I'm trying to get 2 international students who are going to rent here for 8 months. So I'm going to have to be living a little bit uncomfortable, because I'm going to have to be sharing a space. But it's for the greater good, because I'm trying to make that income, get my large purchases done without dipping into my budget, and have, another stream of income, and just get things moving. So, that's just what I'm doing now. But I hear you with those projects. It's very difficult to get work done, and tradespeople, it's very challenging. And no matter how you plan out the project, something goes wrong. That's just how it is in these construction projects. Nothing is ever, once they open up those walls and see what's there, the whole plan has to change. So That's what I
What
was just
I've
talking about. But I'm
done.
gonna go out. Go ahead, and
Well,
then
I
I'm gonna
just want to
close
say
off.
this. I just okay.
Yeah.
What I've experienced is yes, it is. We have a shorter climate. We have a shorter climate, and from the shorter climate, I've noticed that my potatoes grow good. So I have enough potatoes to last us, 4 to 6 months without any.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
good.
it's golden. It's golden. So I put enough out there, and my grow tents are gonna provide the everything else. Like I'm this month, by next month, I'm gonna have my time to put into the grow tent, and that's been my biggest issue is, I'm not having enough time because I'm working too much because I being a
Yeah.
husband and being a dad comes before any of this stuff right here, because we do have the ability to go purchase things. So, so it doesn't really make the logic hit me as well. I mean that it doesn't solidify anything. So that's what I'm trying to do is get the two grow tents up, and then I'll be able to um, build my inventory on watermelons, on different types of melons, on different herbs, celery, all these other things. I'll be able to do that, and next month is golden.
You see, that's where I'm behind because exactly I don't have grow tent. So all of the stuff that you're doing are things that I'm trying to get purchased and get my hydroponics in place, my solar, like all of those things. And that's why I'm kind of like pausing a bit to get those things purchased and then now take things because if I can grow indoors, that's. So yeah, right now I'm just in a transition because I do want to grow, but yeah, I hear you. It's hard when you're working. It's so difficult. But thank God your wife's working with you and you have that, you have a plan together because it's hard to work with somebody who's not working with you. Ask me how I know. Um, so it's very difficult. But when you're working and you have a vision and you have a plan and you're both working towards, yes, it's difficult, but you know the end. Okay, yes, this is a plan, a 5-year plan. This is what we're doing. It makes it so much easier and you can enjoy things along the way. But I'm going to go, guys, because I have to serve lunch to make sure this person has enough food in their system and then drop them off because they're traveling back to Europe today. And then I'm trying to get a student ASAP. So maybe, who knows? I'll let you guys know. And I'm going to be getting the content. I have not been getting my content out there. And I really want to get my content out there. So I'm going to get these old videos edited and just get them out there because you want to see what's going on over here, not just me sitting here talking for 2 or 3 hours. You want to see what's going on. And I'm going to be working on that. So that's the plan, guys. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you guys in these YouTube streets. I don't know when you're going walking again, GT, but I went walking. If you didn't know, I went walking. I said, I'm not sitting down anymore watching you. I went walking and I went walking with lashes virtually and I'm getting this, taking this seriously. And the blood pressure was doing really good. Really nice. The numbers were nice. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a good week. I'm going to see you in these YouTube streets. I will post my live next week. I should be on, but I'm trying to reschedule my firearms training. Whenever that's going to be, it's going to be on a Saturday. That's the date where I won't be live. So I'm trying to get it for September now because the dates got messed up. But I'm working on stuff here, guys. I'm going to adjust Nightbot because it's putting all you guys in timeout. It's ridiculous. So I want to figure that out. Sorry, guys.
All right.
But it is making it
All
easier for you
right.
guys to drop your links. All right. So take
All
care,
right,
guys. Have a
y'all. Y'all
blessed
have good and trust the
all right.
process. GT out. All right.
Trust
Thank
the
you, Urban.
process. Drop that beat.
Yep. Peace.